We can already see one of the starting classes that, you know, Niorra is choosing, and he has double fucking... What are they called? Black steel great hammers? Like, is giga cooked, man. This seed is gonna start with double colossal great hammers, power stance the shit out of them, probably gonna blast through things. That's sort of the expectation that I have. Hey, Plural, what's up, dude? No worries, man. No worries. I always do a little bit of a pre-show. I'll get you on in a moment. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Really, don't worry about it. I want to watch since I checked the site during your Dark Souls session for a match today. Yeah, I'm really excited that we get to cast. I'm a little sad it's at 10 p.m. for me, but otherwise I'm really excited. I could have casted another game tomorrow, and then I realized that I have the Call of Duty match tomorrow, so I can't actually do that. Why does your stream look better on 480p than other stream on 720p? I'm not sure, because there's nothing special. It's just regular Twitch stream with 8K bitrate. There's nothing spectacular about it, but I'm happy. Yo, what's up, Daniel? How's it going? So yeah, Rambler against Niorra. I mean, we watched Niorra's match on Pup's stream recently, right? He was battling it out with Pearl, barely made it through. If you look at the journey of these two players in the bracket, as I said, that is the more important thing, as we are looking at a Seed 16 Rambler versus Seed 3 Niorra. Rambler, with the upset of the century, beating Hooser in the winner's bracket round 1, then falling to Forsa in winner's quarterfinals, fell directly to losers round 4, so this is only his third match so far in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Niorra failed to win against Roman. We watched that on my channel. And then had to go through a tedious lower bracket path over NPT and over Pearl. So has one extra match to his belt here in the bracket stage. And he had some really nice scores, 81 and 79, beating NPT and Pearl, two very talented players. So he's on a little bit of a fire, you know? I think he's got the momentum on his side right now. I'm also gonna open up a prediction for you guys. Is it gonna be another Rambler steal, another heist, or is the favorite Niorra gonna take it today? 5 minutes, you guys can get your channel points in. And I will also have a special guest joining me. Plural, one of the players still in the tournament. We watched him play against Kaijuro recently. Plural will have his match later this week, I believe, on Sunday. Yeah, at 7:30 p.m. So exciting stuff. It will be against Teddy 59C. All right, let's see. Yo, Plural, can you hear me?
Yo,
how's it going?
What's going on?
Perfect.
I'm good.
Awesome to hear that. Can you get, is it okay if you get your camera up, or if not, that's fine too?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. No problem. It's all good, dude. It's all good. I'm just happy that you had the time to join me, because I thought it would be really fun to have you on. All right, let's play some emotional epic music. That's what the playlist is called. I'm sure that will live up to the standard. Interesting divergence here in keepsakes. We can see that Rambler on the left side is picking the Golden Rune 9 to have a little bit more extra money at the start for his upgrades. While we have the Moog's Shackle for Niorra on the opposite side. Moog's Shackle obviously useful not just against Moog, but especially in dungeons that have moving pillars, the fire pillars, or illusory walls, because you can basically proc a Shackle. I'm sure you guys have mostly seen this, like at the start of the dungeon, and it has an insanely large area of effect trigger that basically triggers all of the pillars, and it triggers all of the illusory walls as well. So Niorra, wants a little bit of that speed, especially looking at the starting classes. Plural, how do you feel about this warrior starting class with the double hammer?
How do I feel about it? Look, the thing with DRL right now is that if you're not jumping, you're doing something wrong. There really isn't too much skill expression, like otherwise, like, sorry, skill expression is the wrong word, but there isn't too much like build variety, I would say. The only thing that there's really only like maybe 2 things that can compete with a power stance build, which are like a built DP, because that weapon's damage is stupid, and then a Starfist. But even still, I would still take Power Stance Greyhammers. So, I mean, this is one of those things where the only thing you really are going to be looking for is going to be like an Ashe. But, since you were commentating my game, one of the mistakes I made was continuing to loot. And I think it's really important that both of these players just don't do that. You have, like, pretty much exactly what you want. Maybe great axes are better, right? Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for the most part, you're looking for an Ashe and then you're just flying. You're not wasting any time looting. You're not really hitting graveyards. You don't need that. Just go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we are expecting
a
pretty quick match. Hopefully, we'll see what the key items are as well. Please go ahead. What was your question?
No, I was gonna say, did you see? Was there anything like interesting in the other classes? Or was there any other option, or is this just the obvious one?
I honestly did not see because Niorra already had it picked, and then I was setting things up while Rambler was picking. But I assume that this is just the obvious choice here.
Yeah,
I think what you said makes a lot of sense, and I think that the idea of not having to loot early on and then just being able to start blasting is really, really valuable. Because the sooner you start blasting, I mean, the sooner you also, are able to like get those remembrances that only drop from bosses and potentially get a little bit of an advantage over your opponent as well, who might, get a little unlucky. We saw that in the previous match of Niorra's where he went a little bit of a different early game route. He didn't start at the beach merchant and into the cave. And it took him a while to find the first remembrance. And I mean, the sooner you start blasting, the sooner you will also have a chance to find the remembrance. So I think it's really, really important.
Yep.
I was talking about, before the match starts, I was briefly talking about both the players. I think it's quite clear that Rambler is the underdog yet again in this matchup, seed number 16 against seed number 3. So I'm not going to ask you who you think is going to take it. Instead, if you're Rambler, what do you think is your game plan if you want to win? As we are now starting off.
I mean, I think for Rambler, number one initiative is just not dying. I think he knows that for sure, right? Like, if you think you're the weaker player in a certain matchup, your number one initiative is just not dying. You're hoping that your opponent dies, obviously. Other than that, I mean, some of the things you're hoping for are a precipice seed, because that introduces a bunch of variants, but that won't happen because looking at the starting races, we have Ainsel, which is just completely useless. It's a 2-minute run to Dragonkin Soldier of Noxella, but like that's too long in this format. So it's a completely useless grace, but Nokron actually is a grace right outside of Mimic Tier. So you can kill Mimic Tier, kill Valiant Gargs, go to Deeproot, get access to Siluria and Deeproot, and then you can, if you kill Fuse Champ's replacement, you actually get put inside of Capital, which is one other way to get Altus access. So that's a really important grace for these players. Just adds a lot of bosses.
Yeah, but, there's four of them down there, yeah.
Yeah, we should expect really high scores on this seed. Like, just looking at graces, just looking at starting classes, obviously we don't know what the bosses are, but we should expect really high seeds, and I think it's going to be a question of how much Rambler pushes.
Also crazy, both players immediately 10. Finding a somber 10. Okay, I love to see that they both got it. So no advantages gained so far. Same starting location for both players as well. Same starting strats. We can see that Rambler right now, stripping naked, will be selling a bunch of the equipment that he does not need. Of course, we have seen this a lot through DRL. This is the default strat. You start with a little bit of a care package. You have 50 different items. Usually you're trying to sell as many of them as possible without getting weaker, and use those resources to upgrade your seal early, or whatever is the lightest that you have in your inventory. Then you drop your main weapons, pick them back up, they're fully upgraded as well, and you start blasting.
Yep.
Okay, what else do we see here? We see Shard of Alexander, we see a Stamina Talisman, Ritual Shield. That's all pretty nice, especially for the power stancing build. Ritual Shield allows you to trade a little bit better, especially at least with that first hit. And the damage reduction, the extra stamina as well, really important to not run out of stamina, especially with these great hammers that take a little bit of extra stamina as well over something like great swords. So overall, I think, yeah, as Plural said, we are poised for a pretty high score, bar any incidents. Niorra already having a little bit of trouble with the Fire Knight there.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this will come down to kind of boss RNG. Rambler, like, So just talking about weapon types and damage types.
Yeah.
There is you really have one damage type that's the best in this format, which is strike. There's maybe like 3 bosses out of 207 that like truly resist it, which are like Godskin Noble, Godskin Duo, and Godskin Snail.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, the Miranda flower resists it, but I mean, it's a flower. You'll be fine. So, like, it's really good that they have strike off rip because if there's stuff like Deathbirds, Ghost Flame
Mm-hmm.
Dragon, stuff like that, you have a strike and a little bit of holy on this weapon, so it's a really really good starting weapon. I think we'll see a very high score on the seed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's not me trying to jinx the players, but I do think that we should see a really good score.
Yeah, the potential is there for sure. That doesn't stop the players from looting a little bit, as you can see on Rambler's screen.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking through the graveyard because there's always the chance that you find, Claw Talisman and other things as well. And obviously, right now they haven't upgraded yet, so they're trying to just look for runes as well. Another important thing is, different physic tiers. Right now they have, I believe, Stone Barb, so that means even more poise damage potentially. Not as important in Limgrave because the bosses will probably die faster than you stagger them, but as we get deeper into the matchup, we will see, we will see players getting into Dragon Barrow, Altus. Those bosses might take a little bit longer, and so having that stagger will be quite important. Another thing that I need to mention is if you find a different weapon, you are, for example, able to swap out your strike weapon if you're fighting someone like Godskin Noble that Plural mentioned, or if you need to have a sacred option, for example, for those Ghost Flame Dragons as well, because there the damage against undead would be really, really nice.
Yeah.
All right, both players in Roundtable at the same time. They basically just did a little bit of the map progression they'll have to do eventually anyway. Crackblade in Roundtable.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And an important pickup there that I noticed was there's a gold tender. I think the seed, assuming that you get an Ash of War, is really good for Dragon Barrow. One of the kind of conditions for early Dragon Barrow to be worth it is you have a weapon that scales and you do it like you want the extra damage. That your strength, if you're going in there with like a C scaling strength weapon and your AR is increasing by 20, it doesn't really matter if you're going Dragon Barrow early. But Black Steel Greyhammer is like arguably one of the best Greyhammers in the game. Has really really good scaling and just really really good damage because it's a DLC weapon. So I mean, I think this is going to be an early Dragon Barrow for both of these players. I know it's not Starscourge Radon in Limgrave, but that's annoying.
That is annoying, really annoying. Because the aggro is super far away. So you could see that Rambler was trying to go to the Beach Merchant, but instead is actually forced to engage with the boss. He is heavy rolling at the moment. Yeah, he's trying to figure out the strats to not be heavy rolling. He unequips one of his hammers and will be fighting one-on-one right now. Meanwhile, Niorra was able to get down to the Beach Merchant. One thing that's really important to note is that right now, Rambler is actually sitting at a plus 18 Great Hammer, while Niorra was only able to upgrade to plus 12. So in theory, there's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, I mean, that came from looting the graveyard. I don't know if that was Rambler's hope, but he found 6s. I don't know how many 6s he found, but he found 6s in the graveyard. So also very clean by Rambler getting the phase skip on Radon, which is really, really important. And it's a big time save. Niorra is still aggroed. But yeah, I mean, I think that we're going to see an early Dragon Barrow for both of these. Was the only point that I was trying to make before before the Radon.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you talked about how important it is for Rambler to try and stay alive for the entirety of the seed. So maybe he'll decide, he'll think like, okay, Niorra's going to go early Dragon Barrow. Maybe I'm not going to do it because, I could die. So we'll see how it pans out for both of them. But right now, score is 1-1. Rambler with a slight advantage in terms of the weapon upgrades. For something like Radon, plays a decently big role because we saw that fight wasn't the fastest. And Niorra's trying really hard not to engage with the boss, but he might be forced to. We'll see.
Yeah, he will. I think even if he rests here, he should get aggroed. I could be wrong, but I think even if he rests here, he should get aggroed.
Maybe he'll just run to Groveside, actually. Might be able to get out. Okay. Yeah. Knight's Cavalry gonna be the second boss for Rambler in Groveside Cave. Find Malenia's Great Rune. That is not the most useful one. I don't think you want to be burning rune arcs on that one.
Yeah, and interesting from both of these players already, we have kind of like the two different routing schools of philosophy. What a lot of players do, like myself, is we go for our first bosses in Liurnia, and the idea is that like because of the randomizer setting where you are where the money that you get is dependent on what boss you fight times the scaling of the area you're in. Effectively, that's kind of how it works. You know, if you go Liurnia early, more often than not, you're going to have enough money to go up to plus 24. But the other school of thought is that, hey, if I go to Limgrave, I'm fighting Limgrave bosses at lower power level, and then I'm hoping for a remembrance. And I mean, sometimes one is better than the other, and I think we see both of these players actually going Limgrave. So just kind of interesting routing choices off rip to see what they're both doing.
Yeah, it's interesting both going for the same play. I am a fan of that Liurnia start simply because you can see the bosses in the open world. And right now, where Niorra is in the Crucible Knight Everjail, that one is actually relatively high skilled. And if you find something like, I don't know, Midra or something that's relatively tanky from the DLC, and you're stuck with a plus 12 weapon, you will be losing a lot of time over someone who comes back there with like plus 24 because they killed 2 Liurnia bosses and they're fully upgraded. So I do like the Liurnia play quite a bit, but both of these players right now in Limgrave, and so far it's working out for them, luckily.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing super cursed down there. So how much money do you reckon they will need to be able to go to max upgrade? Like, what would be your strategy right now when it comes to returning to Roundtable?
I have a text document that I'll pull up, so
Okay.
I'm not talking out of my ass. Rambler is plus 18, so he needs about 22k. He needs 22k. That's to upgrade a seal, so maybe like 25 because he doesn't have a seal.
Yeah.
And then Niorra from plus 12. I mean, he needs like 30k.
Okay.
So it'll be a long while.
Yeah, it's
for them.
still
But,
quite
I mean,
a few bosses,
a single remembrance.
or a single remembrance could do it. Yeah.
And that could be their thought process, to be fair. That, you know, I'm going here because I need a remembrance anyway. The Liurnia bosses aren't going to be enough. But yeah.
Oh, Rune's Greatsword picked up by Niorra. That's potentially a useful weapon, or some bosses. I mean, NPCs, for example, they're not very good against that one. So, even though we have seen the rise of the crouch L1 attacks against NPCs, those have been working really, really well with the power stance weapons. But I could see Rune's Greatsword working really well in a place where you need to play it a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Bernal goes down, Flasks being upgraded. I assume Rambler will go for the same play. Loot the graveyard as well, and Ulcerator Tree Spirit now. Popping out of the shack. Well, not really, it's still in the shack. Stagger already, from Niorra.
Yeah, there's Stone Barb.
No
I mean,
surprise.
the thing with Stone Barb is, I was originally like, I was talking to someone, and I was like, you know, I don't really find Stone Barb that good. I think it's all right. I hate that, like, you know, you have it in a chain and it only lasts one bosses. But then he made a really good point, which is that, like, when you have really stally bosses, you have something like a Plassey, you have a dragon that flies away. Having Stone Barb to just like make them not play the game is really, really powerful. That's where kind of the benefit of Stone Barb comes in.
Yeah, especially in Limgrave, where, you know, a stagger on a dragon and a couple of headshots will absolutely finish the boss most of the time.
And I mean, obviously on bowls, it doesn't matter what you do, but...
Yeah, I mean, 65 points. Yeah, he's not very happy about this build from the players. We'll see how Rambler handles it. He cannot jump off torrents. One of the downfalls of uneven ground, but yeah, I mean, 2 jump attacks.
Is that how it works? Is it uneven ground that makes you not jump?
It's essentially, like, not exactly, but it's usually some kind of irregularity in the surface that makes you not jump off. So there are like specific places where it's just not gonna work. It's really strange. I don't really know why that is the thing, and it makes the game feel really unresponsive, like even from a casual perspective. You know, like you're trying to jump off horse and then nothing happens, but yeah, there must be a reason for it.
Yeah. I think we saw both players kill what's it called? Kill Bernal.
Yep.
Which means I wonder if they're gonna go early patches. It's kind of been a new idea. That I don't know who started it, but my guess is that it was Hoosier. And the idea is that like when you kill Bernal, you save time instead of needing to talk to him. So the idea is that if you're gonna have Bernal's bell bearing, you want to check that eventually. And if you kill Patches early, Patches has like one of the biggest shops. It's massive. It's actually like three and a half, almost 4 rows of stuff. So he's got a massive shop, and you can go and check that early, like before Dragon Barrow, because Patches is just unrandomized. So yeah. Shaker Bingo with I believe Iron was doing early patches for a while. Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm pretty sure we had that strat in season 1 already. Like I'm fairly certain that was a thing. I think one of the issues with doing that, and we see that for both players right now, is that they do not really have a lot of money. You know, like usually if you're gonna go check shops, you want to be able to buy the things as well. You want to buy your stone sword keys. You want to be able to buy the fan daggers to keep up poise and potentially break illusory walls. And if you don't have the money for it, and you're not even upgraded yet, I mean, that's the priority, right? The priority is to upgrade, so...
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what they decide to do. But at the same time,
Big Ash of War.
Yeah, Big Ash of War pickup, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that if they go upgrade, that's the priority. I mean, they could still check the shops and then decide to come back. The only downside is if they find the Halictree Medallion half, then they will get invaded by Ensha, and suddenly they're losing like 40 seconds, which is not great.
Yeah, I think it's a risk reward that you just have to take. I think from my perspective, number one initiative in DRL is just upgrading. I don't think you can delay like that. That has to be your what's it called? Your number one goal. You have to upgrade because you're just losing time by not. And if that means you're going to be upgrading or you're going to be porting to round table multiple times, then so be it, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you look at the damage on this Tree Spirit, like it's not bad, but it's still Limgrave, so you would expect to be dealing a little bit more. And given that both players have a +10 stone, you would be hoping that they would upgrade to the max at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Rambler's fight there was a lot faster than Niorra.
Absolutely.
And that was just the upgrade level. I mean, Rambler's +18 versus Niorra's +12, and like Tree Spirits are tanky. Like can be tanky. So I mean, Rambler is like I would say very cleanly ahead right now. There isn't much like Rambler's just ahead, right? Like there isn't much room for interpretation right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Rambler also has Temple Quarter set up. I don't know if Niorra does, but yeah.
Yeah, they both do. Yeah, they both do. But absolutely. I mean, we have seen 6 fights so far from Rambler. We have seen 4 of them now, the 5th one for Niorra. And for all of those fights, Rambler has been more upgraded, and it shows. Now the snail hopefully going to go down. I believe this early market play was the hope to find something decent here that could drop a lot of money. No such luck for Rambler, unfortunately, and he's going to be returning to Saints Bridge.
Yeah, now he's going to Patches. I mean, both of these players are just shocked they haven't found any money from them.
Yeah, considering how good the starting build is, and considering the fact that they immediately found the +10 stone, it's been a little bit dry when it comes to the monetary side of things.
Yeah, I might have jinxed the seed. I'm not going to lie. This might be a caster curse. I said we should see really high scores, and we have the boss has been too easy.
Yep.
You do want like some kind of a late game boss like early because they give you a lot of money, right?
Yeah, that, and it also means it will not show up later, right? Which is always nice to know.
Yeah.
Okay, this Catacomb gonna be skipped actually now by Rambler as well. He's gonna go straight to Patches, so both players converging on the same path at the moment. And I'll have to point out in the last match that we witnessed of Niorra versus Pearl, Niorra did skip that freaking cave at the beach, and that's why he was so far behind Pearl in the early game, because that's where a double remembrance drop was. And I love to see the small change up in his strategy where he actually did start there. So I think that's interesting or important to point out that clearly these players are still like trying to iterate, watching their games back, figuring out what they could do better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, invaded by Hornsent. That's actually kind of interesting because a lot of these invaders before patches that are from the DLC can drop a lot of money if you kill them. It's going to be a little scary with your current loadout, especially someone like Hornsent, but if you get the kill, you might get like 30k out of them.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's actually quite a lot. I don't know if it's all of them, to be honest, but...
Okay. Yeah, I just run away. In all honesty,
I can't blame
you. What's it called? Yeah, just despawning. Okay. Actually, no. The reason for the score discrepancy, that's my bad. The reason for the score discrepancy, it's actually twofold. Niorra didn't kill Radon, and then he's actually going to equalize right here with the Bofa cave.
Yeah.
Graveside cave. So it is actually relatively equal. I will say Rambler is still ahead just because of his upgrade level. But it's not, it's not egregious. I would really like to see either of these players go Liurnia. I think that's what you would want to do right now. Because you don't want to continue the Limgrave chain, because the Limgrave chain you could start doing is like the Troll into Agil into Knight's Cav, that big long chain. I don't think you want to do that right now. You want to be fully upgraded. Rambler's going to Roundtable. I don't know.
Yeah, he has 18k.
He doesn't have enough, but
I believe he will be selling. I think that's the idea, is that maybe he has some stuff in his inventory that he can sell. I think that's the hope to get him over the line. He actually only bought one Smithing 8. He buys the Crack Blade as well.
Yeah. And I mean, now he's going to have double heavy. And I think, honestly, worst case scenario, you need 2 trips to Roundtable. I think even that is arguably worth it. Because, I mean, you can see for Niorra there, Niorra loses, like, just for example, 10 seconds on this snail. But if he was higher upgraded, he goes one-shots it. And, you just save that time over fights. He's going to kill Starscourge Radon here, which is going to give him decent money, but...
Yeah, not going to get him fully over the line. Genius play for a Rambler, actually. Yeah, so what he ended up doing is he upgraded specifically to plus 22 so that he could drop the Rune's Greatsword that he found in one of the graveyards. Plus 22 is equivalent to a plus 9, and because he already has the plus 10 stone, he upgrades it to plus 10. Now we'll be able to drop his hammers, and he will be fully upgraded at plus 25. That is insanely clever. Problem is, his menuing is trash. Like, he should have dropped the weapons already. Now he's setting up the Ashes of War, right? Like, he will be double heavy, which I feel like maybe is a little too early. Like, you don't have the strength stat yet. I think standard might be better damage. But yeah, now he has to like drop his weapons before. Yeah, there you go. Now he's just standing still. And yeah, this is tough. But otherwise, insanely clever play to get Blacksteel Greathammers plus 25. Very nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, we see there just another example of what being unupgraded is for Niorra. He actually has the phase transition. He actually gets the phase transition over Dawn. And Rambler is just starting his Limgrave chain. I mean, I guess he's under the impression of no Dragon Barrow, no early stuff, which is how he plays. Power to him. And they're both just on their chain. I wonder when Niorra has enough money right now. He should go to Roundtable. I think he's trying to save more money so he can buy everything, right? Because when you want to go to Roundtable, you want a rune arc, you want your 3 stone sword keys. If you go patches, you want an extra stone sword key. You want patches of Span daggers, you want the Ash of War, you want and we're just talking like a 50k huge check to pay, but like in reality, it's usually just better to go right now, go upgrade, and then worst case, you go to Roundtable again. So yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. I mean, for Niorra, it could work out if these bosses that the players will be fighting on this chain And there's quite a few. I mean, you have the Limgrave Tunnel, Aegil, Waypoint Ruins, Aegil Lake South, Everjail, and Earthbore Cave that you sort of have to do in a row. So 5 different bosses. If all of them are like paper and they die pretty quickly, that's okay. He's not going to lose that much time. However, if any of them is just slightly tanky, he will be missing out. And we already have a Death Knight in the first one.
Speaking of tanky.
Yeah, that's crazy timing. All right, let's see if Rambler can get some hits in. Gets the first one, 358 damage. And 500 on the power stance jump attack. I'm very curious to see the difference here now between these two players.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 200 damage per jump attack that we see the difference of between the two players. That is pretty huge.
Yep. It is very big.
And the thing is, when you deal less damage, you know, the bosses, they don't stand still. Like, obviously, if it's just a straight up DPS check, then you're already behind. But you also need more openings from the boss generally. Like, it gives you chances to get interrupted and stuff like that, the more hits you need to do. So you're also more at the mercy of RNG. Okay, Rambler now changing up his weapon, making it sacred. I mean, double dipping into scaling.
Interesting.
This weapon does get extra AR when you apply sacred scaling to it. So I think that might be the better play.
Yeah, he just got Sacred Scorpion Charm from that boss. Both of them did. And I guess his reasoning is that he has Sacred Scorpion Charm. He has one of the best fate scaling weapons in the game. And then he has the Sacred Shroud and Crack tier. So, I mean, the only thing that would be really bad for him is there's a few main bosses that are like super holy resistant, right? Like, you know, Elden Beast, Goldfree, Radabeast.
Oh, the one tap. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, you can see the difference. There's the first Memby. There it is.
Yeah, both players getting it at the same time.
Yeah.
But this is the problem, right? Like, this is the problem now. Yeah. When Niorra is, like, it's going to be so hard for him to go to Roundtable now. I guess he could take the Waypoint Ruins Grace potentially after killing the Mad Pumpkin and go from there. I guess that actually is a potential play. Okay, Deathrite Bird, need to get the hit in before the transition. Nice. Nicely done from Rambler.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the time that he'll do it is Aegil Lake South. It's a grace that I like to grab a lot, both in this format and Randocalypse. The main idea is that if you have like a dragon, maybe not a dragon because dragons usually are fine, but if you have like a Jory at that Everjail and he teleports out, and you have to Mog, it's actually game losing to go back to first step. Yeah. And like I'll take the 2-second time loss that it is to hop off Torrent. Right. So I think most likely that's when he goes. Another gold tender, as we have Fire Giant in this tiny arena. As Rambler gets it down in 3 hits.
Yeah, tiny arena, big damage. Very nice. I mean, Rambler right now in a commanding position for sure. We'll see how he plays out the rest of the seed. We saw it in the match against... I didn't catch the match against Forsa, but in the match against Hooser, we saw Rambler do really, really well, and then he kind of fell off in the mid to late game, I believe, with his pace. I think, Limgrave has been kind of his strong suit. And, I mean, the game knowledge that he showed right now in terms of, developing this build, we'll see how it plays out as the match goes on, but just the fact that he's saving so much time, like, for example, on this Fire Giant, like, it's crazy, it's crazy. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Niorra was looking for the Grace there. I think he's going to go at Aegil Lake South is my guess. Maybe he wants to look at this graveyard really quickly beforehand. But, I mean, Rambler is not even bothering. He's done. He's done looting. He's just going. He's got a full build, and he's got a really good one, honestly. Like, the Sacred Black Steel Grey Hammer is really smart. I don't know if it's better than than just heavy and pumping strength, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, he should for sure get the 1 cycle here, not even a question. Yeah. And I really hope that Niorra upgrades, because this would be kind of really bad if he is going Moog plus 12. Yeah, he's upgrading. Okay, perfect. Both players should be getting equalized here.
And you're equipping the seal as well, so he will be looking or looking at the seal, he will be looking to upgrade to full as well, if possible. Now he's picking up the golden foul foot that he found in one of the merchants, picking up the fan daggers, looking at the stone sword keys. Players need quite a few of them for the full route, and the more you have, the better, because it also opens options in like potentially really, really fast seeds to go for some extra checks like Unsightly Catacombs and Altus, for example. That one's fairly quick.
Yep.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. He's gonna do the Rune's Greatsword thing as well, I believe. Dropped it on the ground. Let's see, upgrading the stuff right now. We'll be getting over to plus 24. Yeah, picks up the weapon. Gonna upgrade it fully. Picks up the hammers after that. I mean, that's, yeah, you like to see that. Nice small optimization.
Absolutely.
Very good. And now, because he has already spent all of his money, he's gonna sit at this grace at the Death Touch Catacombs, spend his runes for levels as well, gets full vigor, and now in this one you usually want a Memory of Grace to save a little bit of time, and so this is when he's gonna decide to do it. That's okay. Smart routing from Niorra as well.
Yeah, really good.
In the meantime, we saw Rambler make it to Earthbore, finish the boss there rather quickly as well, as he once again takes the lead 14-13. Rambler decently ahead in terms of the pace, but we know that Niorra is a very fast and efficient player, and now that he's online with a plus 25 power stance, we'll see how fast his fights are going to be.
Yeah, true that. I'm also curious just how the build plays out. One of the things that Niorra is missing is an Ash of War right now, but I imagine he's going to go heavy. So, oh my god, he's getting he's just getting annoyed by these not like him, but just like his character. It's so annoying when there's the rats.
Yep.
And some other stuff happen there, but yeah, I'm curious to see the build, the difference in build between the Sacred Attunement, the full Sacred build, right? Sacred Scorpion, Sacred Shroud, and Cracked Tear versus just like a heavy. And the heavy is paying off, as you have one of the 80% resist on Holy.
Yep, Malekith here in Death Touched. That's not a reason why I was saying, like, if you have a different set of weapons, they have that Rune's Greatsword, you might be able to simply switch to that, and the damage on it might be better. It's kind of hard to say, but that also requires you to sometimes do some quick menuing on the go, and we've already seen that Rambler, that is not his specialty, really, as he's fighting Godskin Apostle at the moment. Unfortunately for him, that's get the riposte. Didn't want to take that one.
Yeah, this is also Snail, so I really do hope that he changes to Ruins.
Not doing it
for Noble, but
yeah, Noble very strong against Strike. Yeah, I mean, the damage is still good, Holy, don't get me wrong. And Holy, yeah. He had a lot of time in the world there to try and swap between the two phases. Does not decide to do so. But he will hopefully get through this fight. Nice. Now the snail needs to spawn. Nice, and Morg being shackled by Niorra's keepsake.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Niorra as well does get the phase transition skip, no problem. And his keepsake already paying dividends. Crazy stuff. As we see Rambler getting back to Roundtable, he wants to do all the shopping that Niorra did as well. Rambler sitting at 82k, so he should be able to afford everything that he needs. Buys the Rune Arc, the Tender, yeah, all the Stone Sword keys, even a Larva tier, just in case he needs to respec at any point. Players can do it at a grace if they do have the consumable. Buy some armor as well. And yeah, now he's back to Weeping. Nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went right then and there. I would have, because he did it like he's gonna lose a little bit of time because he's gonna run all the way back to where he is, right? Like you can see like 18 seconds about, right? He's gonna need to run for another 15 seconds to get to where he was. I'm kind of surprised that he went to Roundtable right then and there, because it is just a time loss to go then in the middle of your chain, right? But not the end of the world.
Yeah, it is definitely a little surprising. I mean, it was probably a spontaneous decision after the snail, based on the money that he had. But absolutely, I mean, right now he's looking to go into this tunnel, the Morn tunnel, and then after that he will thread out to the front of it and take the Spirit Spring up to the night bosses. So he does have, in theory, 3 more bosses to fight before he could have gone to Roundtable, but like it's not like he improved his build immediately by going to Roundtable. It's not like he upgraded, it's not like he bought a new Ash of War. He leveled a little bit of Faith, sure, but that's about it. So he could have definitely delayed it. And he finds Inseparable Sword. That's actually really interesting, because for something like a Ghost Flame Dragon or a Deathrite Bird, I mean, okay, Deathrite Bird, you probably still want to use the hammers, but Sacred Blade is really powerful against those enemies. 100% extra damage against undead.
Yeah, did they pick up Sacred Blade? Sorry, I just looked away for a second.
Oh, he picked up the Inseparable Sword, which has it by default.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
No problems. Tree Sentinel surviving with 1 HP there, a bit unfortunate for Rambler, as Niorra is now hot on his heels, getting into this Catacomb, Tombsword Catacomb as well. Obviously, both players using it as a little bit of a hub. This Grace is in a really nice location. You can go for that chain that Rambler is doing, and then also go for the Ancient Hero of Zamor and Miranda Cave duo of fights, that is. Yeah, both players similar position. Flask 6 charges plus 2. I think that both of them will be looking to pick up the Sacred Tier as well. We can see Rambler already going there. The Sacred Tiers and Golden Seeds, of course, if you watch DRL, you know, are not randomized. So that means even though players start with a default Flask, they will try to upgrade it and hopefully get to a comfortable position where they can complete some of the chains later in the game in Altus Plateau, for example. And I'm curious to see the damage difference potentially here on the Snail. Because we obviously have Strike as well.
Pretty actually similar, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's about the same.
I could be wrong, but I think Noble's resistances are equal Strike and Holy. I think it's both 40. I could be wrong, but it's either they're both 40 or he's more resistant to Holy. He might be like 60 Holy, but yeah.
Yeah, it's quite impressive. Yes. That was actually really, really nice for Rambler, that is, that his damage didn't really fall off despite having, 2 holy weapons. Yeah, the damage was even worse. Interesting.
C+1.
Ooh.
That's a really good talisman in DRL. Just really good talisman in general, but in DRL specifically, it's really, really good. Because at that point, you don't care about Sacred Tears anymore, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about upgrading the Flask, and Talisman just pops out of that merchant. Obviously, this one makes you heal much, much more health with your Flask, and so it gives you, like, the thing is, if you play optimally, you might not have to, run out of Flasks or anything like that, but the thing is, in DRL, playing clean is not necessarily equal to playing fast. Sometimes you just want to be trading. And if you're doing a chain of 3 bosses and you're trading with them all the time, having a Flask that heals you more also means that you can trade more. And as such, potentially, you can be the faster player in that chain. So it's a really, really nice pickup there. Both players will obviously have access to it because Niorra's going to check the same merchant as well. And you can kind of see it here. I mean, obviously, Niorra actually lost time by just playing really, really aggressively. Trying to get as many hits in as possible, even if it means that you're going to get hit yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, playing hitless is not the fastest way to do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, especially in regions that you do not have a risk of getting one shot. Like, if you're in Dragon Barrow, I can absolutely say that, if you get hit and it takes 60% of your health and then you have to heal, like, you're already losing time over someone that just does not get hit. But in these regions where you might not even have to heal between bosses, being able to trade is pretty important, as we now find Knight of the Solitary Jail. Let's see. Yeah, there are the top L1s with the crouch. Didn't really land the chain there. as the knight is kind of getting out of it, but it doesn't matter. He's too low scaled. Rambler does overpower him.
Yeah. Yeah, DLC NPCs are a little bit weird. Just DLC enemies in general are a little bit weird when it comes to the randomizer. But NPCs especially are really weird in terms of their scaling. Boss like Dancer and Red Bear don't do as much because they do like multi-hit stuff, and you have like flat negations to stuff, so it just doesn't really matter. But a boss like Solitary is actually, even Limgrave is very scary because he's got a greatsword that just obliterates you. And if you get hit with like a Charge R2 or like his Ash of War or one of his big moves, like you can very easily get like 80% of your health lost. Even in Limgrave, it's dangerous. That guy's dangerous. But yeah, I mean, Rambler gets it down. Probably shouldn't see either of them die, but just to kind of give that perspective of like it's a dangerous boss.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way defenses work is now we are fighting full-grown Folic Star Beast on the left side of your screens. Is that you essentially get punished if your attack or the enemy's attack does not pass a certain threshold of damage, and then it gets negated. That's why, like, for example, two-handing in Elden Ring is really beneficial because it's better to attack fewer times and deal more damage instead, because you are not risking running out of the juice like that. In Night Rain, for example, that threshold does not exist. So in that game, whatever is the highest DPS is truly the highest DPS. And that's exactly what Plural was alluding to here, where the Dancer basically hits you a couple of times with smaller hits on the lower scaling, and so you take even like less damage than you normally would against that boss in the DLC, because in the DLC it would have passed that threshold even in the singular hits. Okay, nice fight on the full-grown Falling Star Beast. Rambler, that is, he did get a funny jump attack cancel. Like sometimes when you do a jump attack, your animation will cancel on landing for whatever reason, and you do not really have any recovery frames. He did get that there during the phase transition. Rolled the grab itself and then finished the fight, so that was really nicely done. So they just let anyone commentate, dude. You're catching strays in the chat?
I am.
What was your guys' qualifying position? That's what I'm asking. Okay, well, I didn't even participate myself, so maybe I should shut up. But Bale in a super small arena, Bale is kind of strange, right? In randomizer.
Yeah.
Come on, Rambler. He does not hit it.
That's really annoying.
So close.
Yeah, that's really annoying. It's not good, but it's not too big of a time loss. And then I think that should be Limgrave almost done for Rambler. He's just got maybe two more flex checks, as I like to call them, in Limgrave remaining. He's got this Catacomb. He's got that touched, and I think that's about it for his Limgrave stuff. We should see a Liurnia afterwards. Or I think most likely, actually, I would like him to go Celia and do kind of that Kaled chain. And the main reason is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much how you want to order chain A versus chain B versus chain C, right? Like, more often than not, it's Limgrave first. And there's like two reasons for that. Number one, there's a merchant. And then number two, if there's something on the Limgrave path, you expect your opponent to go there early. You're not going to save meaningful time by not going Limgrave later. So the idea is you want to equalize on like kind of power early, which is what we see. That's why we see both players going Limgrave early. Other than that, the checks that you kind of want to prioritize, the chains maybe that you want to prioritize in this format are merchants. Any chain where you have a merchant, so like your Weeping chain has a merchant, your Celia chain has a merchant, and you know, those are kind of the checks that you would want to prioritize doing early, which is what they did. And I think that's kind of going to be the path that they follow right now, where it should be like a Rambler's going Rot View, he might go check the Dragon Barrel Merchant right now. Or he might go, he might go do something else, right? He could just do whatever he wants. But it doesn't matter too much, just in case anyone was wondering. It doesn't matter too much how you order, like check A, region A versus region B versus region C versus chain A, right? Like, you can kind of, it's a lot of vibes. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the merchants, you make a good point. We've seen some players actually go like fairly early for this Dragon Barrel Merchant as well. Even maybe sometimes before finishing Limgrave. Maybe that's actually what we will see now from Rambler, because that's the, another merchant that could have some potentially good stuff. He does have a wide selection of things too, like it's a pretty big shop. So you have to go over to this Mud Pumpkinhead Duo boss first though, and because that is scaled, it's scaled, maybe it's a little bit risky sometimes, but with the current build, with the 40 Vigor, I think Rambler, making the smart choice here. Does not have to commit too much besides, having to defeat this fight. As now we also have Bale on the right side, and the damage is good, but are we going to be able to get a stagger on time? Doesn't look like it.
Rambler's damage was a lot better. I think Rambler's damage is just a lot better, and I think part of that is Niorra doesn't have an Ash. I think at this point he has enough like strength that he really should just level into that he should just go on heavy attunement, but Rambler's was just much better. We have Rykard.
God Devouring Serpent. Luckily does have a shield, does Rambler, so he's able to do these shield pokes. Those are great, the highest source of DPS here, really. And we will have our paths diverging between the two players, actually, as we see Niorra heading into Liurnia. That's basically what you kind of expected first. I think the only consideration, potentially, is scaling of bosses. So sometimes you might think that you want to do an easier region so that you have a little bit more power going into the, stronger region. But at the same time, both players have a really good build going, especially Rambler. As we see Divine Beast, Dancing Lion, we'll see which type this is.
Yeah, I mean, very dangerous boss. If it's the Deathlight version, it's just one of those things if you absolutely can get, like, a Basilisk on top of you, plus his phase transition, plus this, plus that, right? And it is just the normal one, so pretty much, should be, this is just a boss. There should be no, like, chance of death here, but that doesn't mean the next line we see is Deathlight. So
it's true. Well, sometimes that information can be quite vital, because if you find it, especially in the open world, the basilisks spawn usually where the boss spawns as well. So if you're able to pull the boss away, you might be able to fight the boss and have it phase transition like way further from the spawn, and then the basilisks sometimes don't even spawn, to be honest, when you're too far. But most of the time, they will just not be able to get to you on time. So it's pretty important information, I think, actually.
Yeah, I think the very tangible example is if you find Lion in, like, Dragon Barrow, and Niorra now knows that is guaranteed Deathlight Lion, and he might skip that, for example. As you see Rambler doing what I was talking about, which is going and just getting this Dragon Barrel Merchant. I don't know if he's actually going to fight this boss. You don't really have to, but I think he's going for it.
Yeah, he's at least gonna check it, and huge pickup there actually at that merchant. He found the DLC Gravebird armor that actually increases your damage on the jump attacks, which is insane. I mean, we see both players going for the same build, so the advantage here is potentially pretty huge if Niorra delays this check for any longer.
Yeah. Rambler has a Kindred and a Virgin. I don't know if the Kindred is aggroed. It might not be because of nighttime or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, a pretty... Assuming that he does just have two 1v1s, it should be pretty nice.
Yeah, he's not risking anything. He found the Kindred, just gonna go for the Kindred first, because if it aggroes somehow mid-fight and you don't see it, you might just get sniped. So going for the boss with more range, actually a smart choice. He might get grab here. Gotta make sure that you mash. Yeah, he's mashing everything. You can see it. He takes so much damage.
Oh my god. Yeah, 4 ticks and it's still like pretty much all of his HP, but he should be good. And then he'll get this down in just a second. But yeah. I mean, this is kind of the way that I would like really prioritize routing in DRL, which is just getting merchants as soon as possible. Your main priority with your check ordering should be hitting as many merchants as you can, because yes, random item in in Caelid could be the black feather armor, but more often than not, something to improve your build is going to be at a merchant. And I think that's why you should really just prioritize merchant checks. But
yeah, absolutely.
All opinions.
No, I think what you're saying makes sense, and that's why players also prefer to loot graveyards, because that has a high density of items, so it doesn't cost them as much time. And now huge moment in this matchup, actually. Scadutree Avatar being the first boss in Dragon Barrow. This is a little scary now for Rambler, because you can just get sniped by the Scadutree Avatar while you are on the horse. He's taking a really wide angle, doing some parkour. Yeah, those thorns chasing him, but I think he might be fine. He does get around it. So that's a -1 boss. I mean, you're probably never gonna find Scadutree Avatar as a replacement for the BBK. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're going to Dragonkin Soldier of Noxella before you're fighting that boss.
Yeah, makes sense.
You're going to the 2-minute run before I'm thinking I can kill that boss in time. Was that Noble on the bridge? Is that?
I think that's what it seemed like.
I hope it's not duo, but
as we have Makar. Yeah, it seems to be a singular Noble. It's not gonna be the duo now. Yeah.
Maybe with this jump attack build, it's better. But I mean, personally, I would definitely switch to Ruins. Rambler is just skipping it, in all honesty.
At least for now,
Yeah. I think he's just gonna skip it in general. It's very awkward to come back here. I think that's a Tree Sentinel.
That was a Tree Sentinel, yeah.
A weird.
But the thing is, he took the Grace, right? So you're saying it's awkward to come back, but like not really. I mean, he's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds away from the fight.
Yeah.
With that Grace.
You're right.
I think it actually could work out, and the information's just really big. The fact that he knows what's here is really important for making decisions later in the matchup. Talking about graveyards, he's still looking for some loot. I mean, there's still some things that could improve the build even further, as Niorra is now taking a little bit of a commanding lead, but obviously the looks are very deceiving here because the passive diverged so much, while Niorra is blasting through Liurnia. He
exactly
will get these extra fights, but he'll have to sooner or later come back for all of the stuff that Rambler is going through right now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I would say there's like one item in the game that Rambler could reasonably get to improve his build, which is Claw Talisman. And that's it. Anything else just doesn't affect him, and I think as someone who made this mistake, I would want him to stop looting right now, because odds are you don't get anything at this point. You have a sacred, you have all the build pieces for sacred, and you have what's it called?
The jump attack boost
that you would want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you actually make a good point. I was thinking that there might be a few things that he would appreciate. I think finding maybe another Colossal, so that you could switch to Colossals if needed for Power Stance Colossal. That's like the one thing that I can kind of think of, but other than that, I mean, the chances of finding meaningful upgrades are fairly slim, so I do think I agree with you, and especially knowing, how fast Niorra can be as a player, I think it's important to try and save every second that you can.
Yeah, the other thing that you could like reasonably find that I just realized is you can find like claws. If you find like hook claws, that can go on your that can be an offhand weapon for Noble, for Apostle, which is just better damage than what you have. But I mean, even still, right? Like it's that only help in Dragon Barrow, right? So as we see another really free boss in Dragon Barrow, the Stone Digger Troll. So
it should be a very quick stagger week to strike as well. I mean, Dragon Barrow, and you can see that he's going down like crazy. I guess one thing that could be discovered as well is any kind of multi-hit bonus. Those usually stack up really fast with a power stance. That could be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, Rambler gonna make it over to the Dragon Barrow Cave as well. I don't know if he's gonna go for it. What we have seen players do is usually go here, sit down, and then use the DLC start option at a Grace to go back to Soldier of Godric. We'll see if that's the play here as well. I mean, he's leveling up right now, so I think that might be the thoughts. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, this cave is really scary for two reasons. Number one, compared to everything in Dragonberry, you can't actually see this boss before you go into it, right? Like, he had an avatar, but he could see the avatar and choose to not fight it. If you have like an avatar in that arena, you can just it'll stop you from being able to Memory of Grace. Like, you know, it's very dangerous. That's number one. And then number two, it's very possible that enemies actually follow you into the boss fight. It happened in the Hoosier versus Aggie game, and it was Hoosier's death at the end where he got an imp that followed him into that fight. So it's really, really dangerous. And I think if you don't need it, which I don't think either player does, I would much prefer to go there later. I think it's just a lot safer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I could see players maybe trying to go for it if they have a Dectus half, because in theory, going through Dectus is still going to be faster than going into Altus through Nokron, because the teleporter puts you into Lanedell and you have to run back out, which does take a little bit of time. But that's like the only scenario that I can think of. As we now, a little bit of an update on Niorra. I mean, he left Liurnia for now, that is, and he is now in Lower Kaled, which is what you talked about as well, with the merchant being there. Makes a lot of sense. He started with the Celia Crystal Tunnel, hit the skip first try. That was really nicely done. Killed the assassin as well. And I mean, oh my god, Malekith, like, holy damage be damned, like, he died in 3 jump attacks. Oh man.
Yeah.
This really is looking like a great build from Rambler, and it's really important to point out, as Rambler is heading in the same direction that Niorra is in, that both players have access to the same resources. Like, both players have found the same things up until the jump attack armor, right? Right now, that's the advantage that Rambler has. And Rambler has simply put together a better build. And I always talk about how important it is to, like, not just be good at fights and good at, you know, your pathing and routing, but it's also important to just know what items go together and how you can craft a powerful build, because especially in this format where, you know, everyone plays so aggressive and the boss skill expression, I mean, you said that's the wrong word, but like, in a way it is true, is not as high. Having an advantage in damage, that's just, like, you can't beat that. So fantastic play from Rambler so far. I guess I have a question for you. How would you approach, or how do you approach, you know, figuring out these things? Is it just experience and playing a lot, or do you, like, do some theory crafting as well?
It really is experience. Like, to anyone who plays or watches a lot of Bingo, they probably know about Blacksteel Greyhammer and, like, its Sacred Affinity being really, really strong. I don't, you know, like, there's just so much that you learn by playing different rando formats. There's, you know, there's this format, there's Randocalypse, there's Boss Rush formats, there's race formats, right? There's so many DLC rando formats, or just formats in general, that all test different things and teach you different things. Like, base game rando formats are really good at, like, you know, how good are you at dealing with enemies while you're running through Precipice? A format like Randocalypse is really good at teaching you, like, what weapons are good, right? And how to use bad weapons properly, right? DLC rando is a format where it's, like, very much like, how consistent are you with your weapons, and, you know, looting isn't too big of a but, like, there's so many different formats that teach you different things, and I think Rambler just has a lot of experience in rando, and I think that's why he made a really, really good call that honestly I wouldn't even say I would make, which is recognizing you have double Blacksteel Greyhammer and going Sacred Affinity on that, because I think most players would just see Great Hammer and go heavy, and, you know, he has the perfect build for Sacred, so power to him.
Yeah, I mean, he did actually start, right, by making the hammers heavy, and then once he dropped that talisman, the Sacred Talisman, that he recognized that probably would be together all better damage than heavy, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, those buffs, in the end, like, it all stacks multiplicatively as well. It's not additive. So that's like where a lot of the damage in Elden Ring can come from, and why people love stacking buffs, as Rambler right now is having a little bit of trouble getting on that branch, from the other side. Well, unfortunate there. Giving up, gonna go around. But that's where, a lot of people like to stack the things like, Flame Grammy Strength and Golden Wow, and all of that adds up multiplicatively and eventually, result in some of the crazy, like, one-shot videos that you guys might have seen. And I believe that, like, putting together, the strength of your physic, the strength of your talismans, and the strength of your weapon together, you will be able to outblast a lot of the stuff that is sort of the standard, like making a heavy weapon and then leveling a lot of strength is the default strategy for DRL, but Rambler just making the right call, at least for now.
Yep.
I should be able to hopefully get a stagger here. Oh, not before the teleport! He gets the kill! Nice!
Oof.
That was very close, but very clutch.
Yeah. Yeah, Rambler is still behind on the score, but I mean, I would kind of give him the edge right now. Maybe not give him the edge, but I would say if anything, it's equal. Just because Rambler has set up Dragon Barrow. He set up all the way to Dragon Barrow Cave. I think Rambler's only mistake so far was really not fighting Gotsuki Noble, because that's a fight that I think Niorra will do, that I think other people will do, and I hope that he goes back and does that then. But yeah.
Yeah, especially because Gotsuki Noble potentially can drop a decent amount of runes, so that can be your power advantage, right? And considering you've been in Dragon Barrow early and you've done the scouting, you don't know what your opponent is going to do, but if you've watched Niorra in his last match, he only went to Dragon Barrow at the very end. So I think you have a decent chance of thinking that, okay, if I go Dragon Barrow early, I'll probably be there earlier than Niorra. And then you can sort of, make what you need to out of that information. Like, are those bosses good to give me power? Great. Are those bosses good to fight later when I have more power and I know that Niorra will have more power? Okay, I'll come back later. And I think that that Gotsuki Noble fight really should be done. I do agree with that. But at the same time, I mean, with the power stance jump attacks, you leave yourself out vulnerable. And if you're not fully familiar with the fight or like 100% comfortable with that moveset on that fight, I think it's the better play to come back later and not get blasted way too early.
Yeah.
All right, Godfrey the Grafted. Let's see the damage here as well. 1300 at 16. It's very, very good. Nice strafing as well. Now he's a little bit stuck in this
stuck on the
fungus.
Rock. Yeah.
Nice jump attack over that AoE. Gets a stagger as well. Headshot there with the L1. And a running attack to finish it off.
End, but
nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Meanwhile, we see Niorra. He went all the way through Exag's replacement and is now in the Kaelit Catacombs, going to be fighting a Deathbird, so that should be a fairly quick endeavor in this fight.
Yeah, Niorra now has one weapon, heavy, but the other one's sacred. I don't know if that was a mistake or sorry, the other one's standard.
Standard,
I don't know if that was a mistake or if he did that. As we have the Stone Sword Merchant for his Stone Sword keys. But yeah, I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But
yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the only explanation I could have is that he just doesn't have a second Ash of War that could go onto it. But there was a Bloodhound Step and there is a Crag Blade.
He has both. I know that he for sure has both.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe he just wasn't sure of the damage, so he wanted to check it, or he just made a mistake, right? It's either. But yeah. Oh. Red Bear could be annoying.
Yeah, luckily the health bar is fairly high for Niorra, but if there's one of the flurry attacks, you get hit multiple times, you decide not to heal, and then a bleed pro comes in, exactly. You can get blasted quite quickly. Niorra actually healing. I love to see that. Yep. I think that's the better play there.
Interrupts the scream.
That was great. Once he gets on top of the boss, I mean, the damage is there. He does finish up the kill in the end. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Another thing that I have to point out is that the Liurnia routing is a little bit different for Niorra as well. He does not go to the Church of Vows, actually, so he will be missing out on that Miriel, or rather Bellbearing Hunter replacement boss. And in a seed like this, where potentially you might be capping out, because the pace is still very decent despite some of the early mishaps, or rather mishaps, the fact that there was a drought of money. Maybe that extra boss could be important. We will see.
Yeah, agreed.
Because we know
you and I both played Randocalypse, where we didn't do that chain, and there were kind of two reasons for that. In Randocalypse, you started with the Academy key. So there was no RNG of ever getting it or like not getting it. From they're getting a little bit cheese there at the end of the lion fight, but gets it down. So yeah, number one is the Academy key. You have to get to Bellum anyway to get to your, to get to the Black Knife Catacombs and the Archery Avatar, 3 really fast bosses. Is number one, and then number two, in DRL, because you have like a really strong build, you actually want the main idea is that like longer checks are a little bit more viable. Namely something like Stormfoot Catacombs in this, like in DRL we do, but in Randocalypse you would never. Oh my god,
that's a lot of damage.
I remember getting blasted. Yeah, Smaragd is really high scaled, by the way. It's the same scaling I believe as Morgott, even though it's in Liurnia. So, but yeah. Sorry, number two is just that longer boss checks are like more viable in this format. And even though Muriel is a longer check, it is still worth it, right? So that's kind of the idea, but it's not a necessary like routing like thing that you have to do. You can very easily justify not going to to Church of Vows, and I think that's very reasonable, right? As we see him, so you're not doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he would be a little annoyed, I believe, if you find the Academy key, like you've made your way around Bellum already, you make it to this highway, you go kill the night boss, and then you find Academy key down the line, and you're like, oh, I could have saved like almost 40 seconds by just going through the Academy, but at the same time, this is a good default in the sense that you can basically do this every game. Like you don't really have to be worried about key items and stuff like that. This is a route that you can practice and just kind of go for every single time. Nice stagger on Adula. 2 more jump attacks should do the trick. Very well done. That will be the 40th boss under 1 hour. Nice space for Niorra. But in the end, I always have players talking to me about, some pace checks. And I believe that they are useful, but they're only useful if you're doing them for yourself because you're familiar with your own route. If you do something like Rambler, where, he went to that Dragon Barrow Merchant and he did that Dragon Barrow check already, he killed the Dragon Barrow Merchant boss as well. Like, he's never going to be able to reach the same pace that Niorra has because Niorra did more of Liurnia already. And those are way easier to kill and also efficient checks to do as well.
Yeah, exactly. Rambler's score right now is obviously lower. We saw, I think it was at one point it was like a 5, and I mean right now we see it's a very even 3, right? Like they're very Rambler's very much 3 behind. But Rambler went to Dragon Barrow, had to skip not Bellbearing Hunter, the Blackblade Kindred. He set up the Dragon Barrow cave, so like he has a lot more set up. Which is which is just why the difference is how it is right now. Yeah, this match right now, as we are halfway through for both players, really hard to say who's ahead by how much. Like you can't really point it out. And another thing is as well, even though we are going by in-game time, or rather because we are going by in-game time, the players' load screens will vary, and also the number of warps and stuff like that are gonna create a discrepancy. And we see that right now, Rambler is about 25 seconds behind or so, which means he has 25 seconds extra to actually finish the run in a way. So at the moment, you have to also consider that too. do that.
So when would you, with this build, when would you be angling to go to Altus? Like, would you try to fish for Dectus? Because right now we are at 0 Dectus halves. Or would you try to go through Nokron?
You would want to go through Nokron, and the main idea is that Nokron gives you access to more bosses if you go through Nokron. And when you have a build as good as this, you can afford the extra quote-unquote slower bosses in Nokron instead of needing to go Dectus. But I don't think it's wrong to go searching for Dectus, but I think it's unnecessary. With this build, you want to hit the Nokron bosses is the main idea.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, as now we are seeing Niorra. Yeah, he makes both of his weapons heavy. So now we see really the standard. He has 30 strength at the moment. Definitely getting into that higher strength territory. Let's see how his Black Knife Catacombs go. I mean, he already has a Mesmer Soldier here. That one can be scary. Okay, the Scream did not hit Niorra, so that's nice. Let's see if he can get on the Cleaver. Nice, catches the first cycle as well. Very well done. Yeah. That's pretty huge.
It's beautiful.
Of course, this Catacomb has seen some players fall, yourself included, apparently. I have not seen a clip, but apparently there's a famous clip of you dying here.
Yeah, and in qualifiers, I had one of the DLC Red Bears ride up the guillotine with me and then knock me to the left. And then obviously I'm trying to jump to the right to land on the platform. So I get knocked to the left and then just jump down into where the guillotine just cuts my head off. So it was
God.
It was this place is dangerous, but I mean, you just have to play it smart. Just kill the enemies that are dangerous. Honestly, it's Liurnia. You know, if you just one shot the Mesmer Soldier, if you one shot the Bloodhound Knight facing you, you'll be fine.
See, guys, I'm not talking out of my ass. Like, when I say that's a dangerous catacomb, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Okay, first boss already down. Was the Beast Clergyman gonna be heading over to the second one? Let's see what Niorra gets here. I mean, speaking of bears, there is one. As Niorra tries chasing it, does not get the first hits. Can nicely jump over this AoE. That's the perfect attack for a jump attack build like this. Gets a stagger already, and that's going to be the boss done. 43 Huge. Is the score. And Niorra gets a Halic Tree half. Luckily for him, he doesn't have to go back to round table for pretty much anything. Neither player does. They're fully upgraded. They have bought everything that they needed.
Yep. Yeah, as we see Niorra now going to the Dragon Barrel Merchant, I would hope. Yeah, the free damage that Rambler has is pretty big. I mean, Matter is stuck on a stump, and Niorra couldn't get the weak spot, but
yeah, a little bit of a time loss there, Rambler. No, I was just gonna say that Rambler was able to basically skip the second phase transition completely. Not a big deal, but still a little bit of a time difference on that fight. As we see Rambler now heading over to this Laskia Runes chain. He's gonna take the Grace here as well, just in case. I mean, he has also 268k. He has collected quite a lot of money, so leveling up is maybe not the worst idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna be leveling some endurance 40, as well.
40 faith is really, really strong. Like, one of the benefits of actually being on a faith build is that usually in rando you care a lot about strength because you're two-handing. And two-handing obviously gives you that two-handed bonus, right? So you have 40 strength, but you're effectively at 60. But with a power stance build, it doesn't actually happen, right? You're still at the 40 strength. So in like a faith build or like in a dex build, you're actually completely equal with the strength player, which is really good. But Rambler is just like a little bit more powerful. I think I see 36 strength for Niorra, or maybe that was less. Maybe I saw that wrong, but I think Rambler is just has more damage right now. And it's going to kind of come down to whether he can use that damage and have clean fights in the end, or if he or if Niorra outpaces him. I mean, yeah, look at that Dragonkin soldier.
Yeah, it was really nice, really nice. Yeah, we have now the God Devouring Serpent for Niorra as well. Helios earlier in chat was saying that in some of these earlier areas, it might be better to just use your main weapons. I am a little surprised that neither player checked the damage, at least. Like, I would at least try. And if it's serviceable, I would maybe not swap. But at the same time, I think this is a serviceable strategy, nevertheless. And yeah, on Rambler's side, you can see he's heading to the Church of Vows. Did he polish up his parkour? Because last time that I watched him, it was not very good. He ended up dying there, making the match against Hooser a lot more interesting, to be honest. But let's see how he handles it this time, as he's heading over to Miriel's church at the moment, so he still has a little bit of time to think about it. And Niorra going to be heading over to the merchant now for sure. He's going to take the Dragon Barrow West Grace. That allows you to also go to Hughes's Evergel in the Abandoned Cave. Both players will want to do that eventually. Those are very efficient checks, especially as Plural was saying, you know, in Randocalypse, basically anything that was like over 80 seconds to get to was kind of passé, like you did not want to do it. I feel like in this format, you know, anything up to like even 140 is still acceptable, especially if the pace is good, which would be something like the Stormfoot Catacombs.
Yeah, exactly. In Randocalypse, all we cared about was the timing to run to a boss, because we had random weapons because of, you know, XYZ. But in this format, it's different, right? Like, you have to account for scaling, you have to account for the fact that you're so much more powerful, that you're killing so many more bosses in 2 hours. That like a check like Stormfoot Catacombs is, yes, it's 1 minute 40 to get to the boss, but you one shot the boss, right? So it, you know, yeah, as Niorra does pick up the Father's Armor, which is really good.
Yeah, 33 strength right now for Niorra. He's going to head over. Yeah, he does have a nicer stamina bar by just a little bit. I mean, Rambler was catching up with a little bit of endurance levels now as well. And because it's not nighttime, the Cleanroot Knight is also aggressive.
Yeah. Could be dangerous, but his damage is just so good at this point. I mean...
so is the bosses.
Oh my god, okay. The Kindred is just deciding to be an absolute spectator.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah, that was really lucky for Niorra in the sense that the other boss was just kind of chilling. That must have been win trading right there. Maybe bet on Polymarket against itself or something. Niorra keeping it deathless. Score differential now, only 2 points. That's what we are talking about, where, you know, Rambler did a bit more map progression and Niorra did have to catch up a little bit. Of course, there will be also a different scenario where the northeastern Leonia part... Oh my god, Rambler, this is... Man, it's sketchy, dude. I said you need to polish up your parkour. That was sketchy. Keeps it deathless as well, luckily. Yeah. And he's now making it over to the Mausoleum compound and then northeastern Leonia, probably Pelham Highway. Gonna kill the night boss there.
Yep. I would say at the end of these checks, we should see like a 1 score difference. About maybe... Because Niorra is going to get this one, and then he's going to go into Cleanroot Knight Duo. He's actually going to get stalled out by the Urchi Avatar. Really hoping this isn't splitting, because for whatever reason, Urchi Avatars are just bugged in Everjails. They just, like, they can't move at times, so they, like, when they can't get to you, their initiative is to do the Golden Land move. I call it Elden Stars, but it's Golden Land. So... Yeah, I mean, and they will just spam that, and if you get the splitting one, and there's 2 of them, just spamming that, it is awful. But just a normal one. He gets it down really quickly as well. Really good.
Yeah, this one actually using his feet ran away from the edge of the Everjail. And let's see how Niorra handles this cave, because in the match between Pearl and Niorra, this was one of the pivotal moments of the matchup. Pearl ended up getting rotted, and because of that, couldn't finish up the boss here, who unfortunately was a Stel. Let's see how Niorra's cycle works out. Okay, he's going for the same thing. He's gonna... Oh, he doesn't get blasted. Nice positioning, actually. I did not realize that you could just go to the side and there the geyser is actually gonna miss.
I didn't either. That's actually really good to know. Yeah, I know that like most of the time, just the way that it works when you reload the area after leaving the Everjail, the whole world resets. So the geyser's on a set timer. So normally, like as long as you're running the same exact line, every single time you go through this cave, it's just going to be the same. But I mean, there we like he took like a little bit of a weirder line. He needed to he drank his physic and then got the hard dismount off torrent, so it was like a little bit slower. So he didn't get the geyser skip really, but I mean he still gets through. And I mean, yeah, like you said, this was probably the pivotal moment in the Pearl versus Niorra game. I was watching that game, and I mean, if Pearl doesn't die in this cave, I think Pearl wins, but Pearl effectively lost 2 because Pearl came here, didn't kill the boss, and lost all the time of doing it. So I mean, you could argue that Pearl lost effectively 2, and the score was a 1-score difference at the end. So, I mean, yeah.
That was a really close game. Unfortunately for Pearl, the season 1 champion, not gonna be making it back to back this time around, but he had a really tough task. I mean, going through the lower bracket right from the get go is not easy. As we see now, Rambler making it through the Black Knife Catacombs as well. He did have a little bit of a hiccup, but he played it a little safer. He killed the Mesmer Soldier. I can't blame him for that. They can be absolutely lethal sometimes.
Everybody
so
remember, if you have your
going for that was really good.
Kata. He works really hard to give great insight and always.
Now we also have Dragon Barrow for Niorra.
Dangerous.
And human, very
oh my god, that is dangerous. Oh, holy. Getting on torrent right then and there was extremely dangerous. As he's
Niorra's dead!
No!
He gets blasted. He's face palming. He knows it, bro. You playing too risky, dude. That's not good. Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. Those thorns, man. Those thorns on torrent.
Oh my god.
That's not the first time I have seen that. That is not the first time I have seen that, and I am willing to bet it's not the last either. Well, obviously the game is not over. If you guys have not watched DRL before, this doesn't mean that Rambler has won immediately. It just means that the score, well, I say just, it's a big deal, but it means that Niorra's score right now is at 48. So if Rambler just finishes the match without dying, he will win, right? Because Niorra's score will pretty much never be higher. However, if Rambler dies, then the score for Niorra gets unlocked, and it's a fair game again. The current scores at that time will, determine the outcome of the matchup. So Niorra will still keep on pushing. He will keep on blasting, and Rambler has no idea about what Niorra is doing, right? Neither player knows about the other player's progress. So we don't know what Rambler's going to be thinking, and he's probably going to try to push the tempo as much as possible as well, because he knows he has to. And he could die very easily, even though in theory, as soon as he gets to 49 bosses, he could just go AFK, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, if he goes AFK at 49, we will be checking his PC. Because it is very... Yeah, I mean... it would have to be an absolute, premonition for Rambler to just stop moving at 60 or something. But I mean, that death is also so much more than just a death, right? Niorra is not going Dragon Barrow. Niorra is not going to go back to Dragon Barrow at all. He's going to miss out on the super free Tree Sentinel. He's going to miss out on the super free Stone Digger Troll, and he's never ever going to go into Dragon Barrow Cave, which for Rambler hasn't gone right now, but in the future, Rambler should go back there. Yeah, and as we see, Rambler is making his way through Nokron, which I really, really like. You're an hour 15 in, no deck dis, not a single deck dis half. Just go Nokron. Just get through these bosses. You have the build for it. Don't chase deck dis. It doesn't even really save a lot of time, in all honesty, compared to a Nokron entrance. So, I mean, I think that Rambler going Nokron right now makes sense, and Altus is the... what's it called? Altus is arguably the highest density check region, right? You kill so many bosses in such a fast amount of time that it's very important that you get to see all those bosses. Yeah. Which is why I like right now really Rambler going through Nokron and through And for anyone who joined recently, the way that he gets to Altus is he gets a Gracer outside of Mimic Tier. You kill Mimic Tier. You can run to Valiant Gargs. You kill Gargs, and then you go to Deeproot. You get access to Siluria as a bot, but what's important is that you can kill the Fia's Champs replacement, and if you kill Fia's Champs, you can take the teleporter into Capital. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's a good play. We'll see what... Like, the problem for Niorra is that he basically now has to, like, recover his thoughts and figure out what his strategy is going to be, because I could see him going back to Dragon Barrow if there's time at the end, but he's definitely not going to do it now, knowing how risky it is, right? And he doesn't want to die a second time and basically almost seal the deal. So what is he going to be up to? I mean, he's now finishing up some of the stuff in Liurnia. However, he might be a little bit lower on time when he's in Altus, and we saw Niorra lose to Roman exactly due to that reason, because he spent too much time before he actually went to Altus. So we've also seen that he's learning from his games, so I don't think that he will mess it up, but right now he's in a very strange position where that death, you don't really account for it usually. Meanwhile, Rambler, progressing through Nokron, gets a sick kill on Romina. The damage was insane.
Yeah, very well done.
And also very good for him. Going there early means he has the Renaissance Great Rune right now, and because in this format, when you drop a Great Rune, you also drop the activated version. He was able to immediately activate it at a Grace, pop it with a Rune Arc, and now, I mean, you can see his stamina bar is quite good. Even at lower endurance than Niorra, his stamina bar is bigger, which is exactly what you want for these power stance builds.
Yeah, exactly.
Rambler gonna progress through the Deeproot depths. Very curious to see what's gonna be the boss replacing Fia's Champions, because that's a big bottleneck. I mean, if that's somehow, like with this build, I don't think there's anything that you couldn't beat, but if somehow that's something you cannot beat, like suddenly your Altus access is completely doomed.
Yeah. The thing that would be bad is like a it's like an Elden Beast, really. That's the only thing that Rambler would not want to see. Everything else, like even Radagon has awful resistances. So he's like 80% wholly resistant, but it's fine. Radagon's really easy. He doesn't stall too much.
Yeah,
Fortis X is a good one. Yeah, Fortis X is wholly resistant. Like there are wholly resistant bosses on his path that he will encounter, right? It's just a risk of holy. But the thing is that more often than not, with a pool of 207 bosses, more often than not, you're likely to find a Tibia Mariner, you're likely to find a Deathrite Bird, you're likely to find a Ghost Swim Dragon, you're likely to find a random Tree Sentinel, like a deep, right? Like there's so many bosses that just the Holy and the Strike doesn't matter, that the resistances and actually the time that you gain by having Holy on the undead enemies is really, really big, right? So it is philosophy, it is, it's how you want to play the odds, but I think, kind of going back to what we said earlier, Rambler's play of Sacred on this was, I think, just better with the build that they have.
Yeah,
but yeah,
right now is definitely playing in favor of his in terms of the damage. He was playing it a little risky there. I mean, the one-shot Necromancer from the DLC was right there, and Rambler almost gave him a high five. But I think it's gonna be just a clean night at Fia's Champions. So. We were prophesizing all those bosses. I mean, it could mean that they're in Altus still, right? That also is a possibility, but right now, at least the Altus access will be open unless something terrible happens. And Niorra, he just finished up the Liurnia stuff that he had left. Neither player has gone, for example, to Stillwater Cave yet, so they still have checks left, and he's going to be sending it over to Altus. So Niorra recognizing the decision there, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that him going now is good.
Yeah, I think it's the right move as well. You could have argued, Helios made a good point early that if you don't have like even a single Dectus medallion by like 55, even you could just go Nokron and like make your way through. One of the benefits of actually Nokron is that like they don't need it on this seed because like we talked about, they have every build piece that they want for the most part. But one of the benefits of actually Nokron early is that just because of where it sends you, you get access to a merchant. You get access to the Altus merchant.
Yeah.
Very, very early. So you fight like 2 Altus bosses, you fight DTS replacement, and the Deathrite Bird or Death Bird, I never remember what that is. And then you go to the Bellbrain Hunter, you get a merchant check right there, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Rambler is going to be sitting down, probably deciding to spend his, well, okay, his runes. He had a few levels, okay. I don't think that was worth sitting down for necessarily, but he does get those extra levels. I mean, you never know. Maybe that extra point of endurance will be just the stamina that you need, as Niorra does get a stagger here on the Royal Ancestor Spirit before any healing shenanigans can occur. He also gets Rudan's Great Rune. We'll see when he decides to equip that one. And Rambler finding a multi-hit talisman, actually. Getting stronger now, even still. As he finds Gideon.
Oh, this is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous.
Especially with the sacred talisman that he has that makes him take more damage.
He actually just took it off, which is why I gave a little confused face. He took Sacred Scorpion off to put on the Milson's prosthesis. But yeah, I mean, Gideon just does a lot of damage. If he starts spamming Comet, like that move right there, you could look at the damage is terrible.
Yep.
Oh my god! And then he puts on his shield.
Oh my god! He just goes in for the jump attack. Let's go! Nice. I totally would have just rolled that last attack and tried to punish, but he knew he had enough time. Oh man, nicely done for sure.
Yeah, I hope Rambler take the Viridian off and put on Scorpion. There it is. Okay,
that's the play. Yeah. Oh, that was perfect though. That was like a perfect setup for Gideon there to not take the extra damage. And he did get caught up in a dicey situation for a moment where he was, crouched and rolling. So whenever the roll happened, like he was moving really slowly right after. That's how the comet actually ended up hitting him twice. But surviving is Rambler, and he's going to be heading over to this Deathbird replacement. And this is a little bit of a spooky one as well. I mean, you get greeted by Gideon, and you get greeted by this one as well. There's a lot of different enemies around the boss, and the boss seems to be a demi-human queen. And the enemies here are kind of okay. We'll see what the approach is.
The troll is what'll mess you up if you're not careful. You have enough damage. You just one-shot the enemies here. Just don't make the mistake that I've made, that other people have made, where you just try and out-damage the boss. Yeah. Right? Just kill the enemies, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, Rambler's doing exactly that. He wants to get this bot lady. Does get the kill, as Niorra now. Not gonna... Oh, hold on. Let's see how his damage is. Yeah, he's not gonna have as sick of a fight.
Two-shot. Yeah, as Niorra also gets the... What's it called? Gets the butterfly attack from Romina. Rambler did not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's another small time loss there for Niorra. As the butterflies are still lingering around.
Are still there.
Oh my god. Imagine they just pop and they blast you as you're running away. Oh my god. Oh, Crimson Umber Medallion picked up by Rambler. For example, this is one of those things that you mentioned like much earlier in the match when Rambler was, still looting Dragon Barrel. I don't think that checking this merchant was necessary. Like, I think you are set up, especially now with a multi-hit effect. Like, I don't think you will find anything that much better as, oh my god, Black Knight Garu, he wants his hammer back. Gets the hammer back to the face though. Unlucky for him. Another point for Rambler, who is now up to 53 to Niorra's 54.
Yeah. Rambler is first to Altus. He's holding on to a few checks in pre-Altus. He has like the Bloodhound Knight available. He has like the Clean Rot Knight available. He never actually went to Hugh's Everjail.
That's correct.
He didn't do the Putrid Avatar in Kaled. Oh my god, he gets the Nightmare Seed Big Imp. But yeah, so he's got a few checks. So I mean, we can see kind of the score at this point is pretty much equalizing, even with Niorra's death, right? Yeah, I mean, Rambler is first to Altus, but Niorra hitting the 40 strength soft cap there.
Yeah, he's also going to go for Siluria, which was skipped by Rambler. That's the thing. Like, I don't think, Rambler is in a really good spot. Obviously, I'm not talking about the death, but I think I'm talking about, like, where he is on the map. what he has access to. I don't think he will run out of bosses. Like, he has a really good build, but I think he has enough things to do. The thing is he going to remember everything, right? Like, that's one of the challenges as well. If you're playing for 2 hours and you blast 80 bosses, do you remember everything that you have kind of left for later? And we'll see if that actually comes into play as Siluria is replaced by Renala. Is this... Oh my god, Giant Archer there as well, trying to assist. Is that going to be a 1 cycle? There's no chance. Yeah, it's going to be a 2 cycle for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god, the Archer.
Yeah, Niorra has to be a little bit careful. The students on the left side, close to the edge. You don't want to get blasted into your gravity death. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Getting a little dicey there.
Yeah.
As Senesax replaces Lanciax. Wow, that's very
Dramatic.
creative. Yeah. Okay, let's see how good Rambler is with this fight. These ancient dragons are a little tricky in the sense that killing them with the power stance jump attacks can be a little hard in terms of hitting the boss in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Lanciax is extremely high scaled.
The torrent.
Oh my god! Yeah,
He
I was gonna
survived.
say Lanciax is the highest scaled boss that you're fighting in Altus, kind of somewhere between Altus and like a Dragon Barrow scaling.
Yeah, 13 in particular. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
so yeah, Altus is usually around like 8 to 10, and then Dragon Barrow is upwards of like 16 to 18, right? So 13 is on the much higher end of Altus. So Lanciax is like a very scary tech if you get a bad boss here. But yeah, Rambler did not do the Siluria replacement yet, so he has not seen Renala there. But he's just going through Altus. He's just blitzing his checks. I think there was a Tree Spirit at the Falling Star Beast. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Forbidden Lands are like 14, 15, something like that. The two bosses. So it's pretty much more akin to that. Yeah, you definitely don't expect to deal with that kind of scaling. And players usually know these things by now, right? Because we have a lot of rando experience. So the fact that, you know, Smaragd is higher scaled than the rest of Leonia, and Exyx is higher scaled than the rest of Lower Kaled, like that kind of stuff, we are familiar with. But like, what can you do about it? Like, you just know that, okay, this boss is going to be tanky, you're going to have to deal with it anyway. I think Rambler's problem was that he got on Torrent at like the worst possible time, so he got multi-hit, and luckily for him, that Radahn's Great Rune actually giving him just enough health to be able to survive, so that was a close call.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's still showing how, you know, tight this match is. Like, just one death from, even though Rambler is in a good spot, one death from Rambler could shake it all up. So, we are on the edge of our seats. Okay, Onyx Lord, that should hopefully be a little bit easier for Rambler.
Yeah, as we will see Niorra here going into Gideon. So, I mean, eyes on the right side of your screen, as we have a very dangerous boss for Niorra, potentially.
Yeah, he also loots the item. Very nicely done.
Yep.
So not going to be missing out on damage there. And now Gideon on the screen. Let's see how this fight goes. Really nice opening, almost halfway through the health bar. Yeah, this RNG has been really good, but now the Comet spam.
The Comet spam, yep. The Comet spam into the shield move.
Gideon also gets the heal.
Yeah.
Glint Blades on the screen. Now the rings right into Comets.
Oh!
Nice.
Oh my god.
Narrowly avoided. Now Ofnir actually trying to ring himself. Hitting the tree right in front of him. Tries to heal again. There's the explosion. Tons of damage onto Niorra, who luckily does not get clipped by anything else. Does a really nice roll here on that move. And now this should hopefully be the kill. Nice. Okay. Both players getting through Gideon. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, as the heart rate spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the reasons why Gideon is so scary, by the way. So you'll notice that at the start of every time you fight Gideon, he does an Ash of War with his weapon. That decreases your magic resistance by, I don't know if you know the number, Kata, but it's by quite a bit. So when he is spamming Comet, which is a really powerful spell, and you are being like, and you have a magic debuff, that spell is just so scary. And combine that with his triple ring of light move, which is just 3 spells on top of one another that you can just get hit with. He's like one of the scariest bosses in Rando. Yeah, and as Helio says, he has infinite FP as well. So
infinite FP.
The normal PvP caster who is really squishy has to sacrifice Vig for FP. Gideon doesn't have any of that. He says, "Fuck you. I'm the potential I'm a main character here. I'm gonna annoy you."
Okay, Niorra going guns blazing into this Mariga fight. Misses that
Rambler
last jump attack, but nice.
Mariga, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, which is incredible, right? Like we can see kind of his damage difference.
Yeah, I mean, it was 1 hit difference. Niorra missed half of his power stance attack there, so it is about 1 hit, but still, it is proving that this sacred build is the more powerful one right now, at least, in the same conditions.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really funny with Gideon because obviously he has like infinite stamina, infinite FP, really, really crazy spells. But the funniest part to me is that he wasn't that bad before they changed light roll. Like at some point they buffed light roll for the player, and that means you have more roll distance. And Gideon was buffed by proxy as well, so like he just rolls further away from you because he's guaranteed to have light roll.
Yeah.
All right, some map progression now for Rambler, who's heading backwards to the start of Altus as Garu being a little bit of a menace. Yeah. For Niorra. I mean, Niorra, unfortunately, he's fighting him in a place where you can't really like run around him very easily. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Now he's trying to get that done. Takes the riposte as well. Tibia Mariner gonna be a place of destination for Rambler right now as he's fighting a Watchdog and Crystallian duo. Both bosses weak to strike, so that should be good damage, but obviously you can't let yourself get comboed.
He is holy, yeah. This is going to be one of just a few times where he's going to have worse damage than Niorra just because of the strict strike. Like, the way Crystallians work is that they take, they have 90% resistance with the exception of strike until you poise break them. So Rambo's damage there at the beginning was a little bit worse because he's on a Sacred Attunement. Obviously has some strike damage, but not full strike damage. So as Niorra is getting kind of comboed by the actually. Imp.
Yeah, he's not killing him. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but
I mean, it's a little deceiving. Oh, no, he's thrown off Torrent. He gets blasted on the ground. Okay, don't get sniped. Bro, heal. Scary situation.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he is laughing it off.
Yeah, he's like,
holy.
I feel like it would have been worse if he didn't have that one death already, right? Like I think that you laugh about it a little bit more in that spot, but it's a little deceiving because those imps, they do not actually. Oh my god, Rambler having a little bit of trouble with Red Wolf of Radagon. Does not heal, goes for the punish with the jump attack, does get the kill in the end. That was the Gillica arena at the start of Altus, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they should be super tanky because they're so big, but you can usually in Randomizer kill them fairly easily. Yeah. And we saw Rambler go for that. So I'm a little surprised that Niorra just kind of ignored the imp. As Rambler is now going for some Liurnia cleanup. He's going to be going over to this EG chain with the Deathrite Bird replacement into Royal Revenant. And in the meantime, Darvel is being fought, was by Niorra, and your eyes should be on that screen soon as well, because he will also be fighting Senesax, so we will see how that goes. Red Bear got a heal off there, but so far it's been a good fight for Rambler. Really nice damage with the power stance.
Yep.
Okay, he's nice. He plays it safe. He heals. He knows that his bleed bar is quite high. You don't want any surprises there. And yeah, I mean, the damage here, for Niorra is definitely lower. Like, you can tell. I think it was like almost 1200 for Rambler's build.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, now Now he's stacking up the multi-hit, so his damage is a little bit better as well. And I mean, this fight, what the hell is Senesax doing?
I don't know. I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know that. I know that there's some bosses where you can do that, where like namely like an archery avatar, you can kind of just rotate around them.
Yep.
And they'll keep on trying to look at you and keep on failing, and then you can do that. But I guess you can do that with Senesax. That's really cool tech for Niorra here.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you can do that with Lanceax as well to a degree, but I just don't think it's very consistent to set up or anything. Because I do remember a strat where you would just stay on torrent, and you would chase the back leg basically, and the boss would keep on spinning and trying to do like the turnaround like claw sideways move, and you would always be able to strafe that and just kind of keep on hitting. But that wasn't exactly that same scenario. So really nice RNG for Niorra, unless there's some tech that we are both unaware of. And he gets a really clean and fast Senesax fights. I mean, that's if you're Niorra, that's kind of what you need, right? Like, you need to be able to try and catch up on pace, and then hope that Rambler has either died somewhere earlier or will die in the rest of the match.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, now for the first time in a long time, I don't know when exactly this happened. Rambler's actually in the lead.
Yeah.
Regardless of the death, regardless of the lock, I mean, we just see Rambler's better damage, better build early, and the fact that he was holding a lot of these fast checks, coming in clutch and actually just putting him in the lead. Obviously, a death is a part of that. You lose time when you die. Niorra lost quite a bit of time going to Dragon Barrow and then dying, right? But yeah, Rambler's for the first time in the lead. Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he also made it into Altus first, so while Niorra was, traversing, he was able to get some of those really efficient fights done. That is part of it as well. But there's still quite a few things that Rambler has in the back pocket, like, for example, that Siluria replacement fight, which we know is Renala in Deep Root Depths. So there's a couple of things that he can definitely go for, as he now finds a duelist. Battle of the Power Stance. Oh, well, it has a clear winner. 63-62 is the score, as we have 25 minutes, roughly 24 minutes left in the match. Another Demi-Human Queen getting blasted by Niorra, who will now be moving over to the Godskin Apostle. Now Soldier of Godric on the left side for Rambler. And Rambler still has a few things left in Altus. I mean, you have the Sage's Cave, you have Godfroy. It's a couple of things. He didn't do the Night Boss on the highway either, so he will definitely be coming back. But for now, making sure that he clears up everything that is super low scaled and not dangerous, in a way, can be smart, right? Like, you never know how your opponent is doing. It could be a difference if your score ends up getting locked at 65 instead of just 58 or something like that. Like, it might play a role.
Yep.
A Tree Spirit goes down alongside a dog at the same time. Crazy double hit there. So what's going through your minds, like, at the end of the match? Let's say once both players are done with Altus, how do you evaluate, like, what do you wanna still go for?
I think it very much is dependent. I think that's when you want to finish your, like, most importantly, you finish your flex checks. We have Plassi going down, which is really nice for info. In all honesty, you know that Plassi's not going to be somewhere annoying later.
Like Dragon Barrow Cave.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it depends a lot on your flex checks, what you have remaining. In this game, you don't have a useful grace, right? Like, sometimes you'll get like a Snowfield grace, you'll get a Mountaintops grace, you'll get a Forbidden Lands grace, where it's just like, hey, here's a few extra bosses that you can get into Altus, or that you can use once you're done with your main stuff. But yeah, I mean, your priority is pretty much just finishing everything, and it just takes kind of a lot of, like, mental. It's really difficult mentally to know how you want to order those checks, because is check A faster than check B? Scaling versus versus that, right? So, but yeah, it just takes a lot of it's practice a lot that you'll get that, and then it just depends on what graces you have, what you've held, right? Like Rambler's holding a lot in Kaled, so he'll go and finish Altus, and then he'll go Kaled, right? He'll probably finish his last two, I would guess, are going to be like Dragon Barrow Cave and Noble. He's going to kind of hold those until the very end.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, right now we have 20 minutes left, and still some stuff left in Altus. Of course, you have also Warm Face, the Crystallion, this Troll. Like, there's quite a few things to do, and there's still quite a few, as you call them, flex checks kind of left for both players, in all honesty. So we will see how they kind of handle it. That's the thing, right? Like, in the end, like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen in this matchup, but very often at the end of a matchup, it could come down to the fact that one player is able to choose a little bit faster, a little bit more efficiently, and kills the last boss sooner than their opponent. And that's already happened quite a few times in the playoffs as well, because if the score ends up being tied, here, if a Rambler dies and then the score ends up being tied, the winner is going to be the person who killed the last boss first. So your pace really, really matters. It's not just about the score.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the main thing is that at this point we kind of have to put all eyes on Rambler, right? He is the one where the game is in his hands. Does he die? As Niorra is getting the Infinite Crucible Knight combo, just did not stop attacking. But yeah, I mean, really all eyes on Rambler. Score is kind of equalized there, but it's mainly because Rambler ran a much further path. He did a longer check with the Troll. With Old Altus Tunnel. Now he's going to Sango Noble. I don't know if this is the best way to route this. I don't know if it's better to do this from the Merchant or if you want to go from where he went. But either way, he's in a good spot. As Niorra is now running to Urcha Gazing Hill, going to get access to Gillica. Sage's Cave he'll do eventually. Tibia Mariner he'll do. They're all right here, which is just kind of coming. Just kind of showing that like the power of that of Altus, right? As we actually have Mimic Tier, which is a double Black Steel Greyhammer Mimic Tier, which is really dangerous. Like,
yeah, this is no joke. I mean, normally players will try to left hand their main weapon so that. I mean, there are other reasons as well, but it's also so that if you find the Mimic in a dungeon like this, it will kind of be broken, as we see actually Rambler's Mimic poisoning itself with the dumpling and then dying. Nicely done there. But yeah, like oftentimes the Mimic is just going to be broken, kind of unable to use the weapon in the left hand. And when you're power stancing, you don't really have that luxury. Like there's always going to be weapons in both your hands, and the Mimic will be able to blast you.
Yeah. Yeah, Mimic Tier is at its scariest when you're power stancing Colossals, because you just die in 2 hits if you're not safe. But yeah, I mean, here we have the Tibia replacement, and the Pure Strike is actually coming in to help as Niorra just gets that Crystallion down in 2
very
hits.
quickly. Oh man, this also a Tree Spirit. Okay, it's luckily underneath the Grace. I thought this was inside of Windmill Village already. That would have been pretty annoying to get chased by, because those guys have crazy leash range. So with the Mimic, I guess the only thing that's worse is like giving him a parry shield and then just getting parried and one shots. That's also pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's gonna be hopefully
Niorra going.
Yeah, Sage's Cave.
Go ahead, sorry. Yeah. Sage's Cave, 2 very fast bosses. Again, Rambler, if anyone in chat knows, right, if anyone plays DRL and knows, I don't know if Rambler's routing here was perfect. He came out of Nokron, and he decided to kind of go make a full circle around Altus, where he went all the way to Urcha Gazing Hill, and then went all the way back to Apostle. I think it would be better for him to just go Apostle from the Merchant Grace. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna equalize on pace here, I would guess, pretty soon.
The Moog Shackle coming into
Shackle
play.
coming in clutch.
in Sage's Cave. I mean, you stop for a second, but now all the illusory walls are going to be gone. Could be a little bit of danger. There's an enemy behind him, behind one of them. There's a couple of 2 Niorras left right now, but those are a little too far away to really pose a threat. We'll see what these bosses are going to be. As for the routing, I'm not really sure. It's not the first time that we see this kind of routing. I've seen in a previous playoff match the exact same routing from someone else as well, but I do think it's definitely worth timing to try and see if maybe you can head over to the merchant.
Yep.
Our first
yeah,
boss.
for anyone who doesn't know, the way that like the shackle works, the reason that he did that is the way that the shackle works is it has a massive hitbox that just expands outward. Like it's so large, and its intention is to be able to hit Moog, right? It's just a huge hitbox that like looks for Moog or Margit depending on which shackle you have. But it's actually a hitbox,
in trouble,
and it's a hitbox
in trouble. Clutch roll there. Nice.
Super clutch. Super clutch. Very well done. He's getting the 1-2. He should get this down right here.
Let's get it in the end.
Extremely clutch roll. But yeah. Anyway, shackle yapping. Basically, it's a huge hitbox. Looks for Margit, and it actually triggers illusory walls. It triggers stuff like the flaming pillars that you have in some catacombs that you need to hit to then go down, right? So, pretty cool, but...
Yeah, and we talked about this at the start of the match because this was actually the keepsake that Niorra chose, so Rambler having a little bit of extra money at the beginning. He had the Golden Rune 9, but the Margit Shackle being the choice for Niorra as well. So actually does come into play here, and not just once, you know. He fought Moog as well and was able to shackle him down. So that was a nice return on investment there. As Niorra finishes Sage's Cave, does get the 2 kills, and he's doing the same exact routing. See, like I feel like that's been kind of the thing here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the best way to go, but I guess so. By getting a wholly resistant boss, but his damage is just so good that it doesn't even matter, in all honesty.
Yep. Yeah, those Dragonkin soldiers can be definitely a menace. I mean, the biggest problem in that fight for Niorra specifically was he missed a lot of his attacks. He was trying to attack the arm, and he just kept on whiffing, so he never got a stagger. At the start of the fight, the Dragonkin was elevated, so he couldn't get those early hits in, and it was just, it was a mess, unfortunately. Luckily, he did survive, though. That's very, very nice. As now the score has shifted. 74 Niorra, 69 for Rambler. And Rambler gonna be heading over to the parkour that I was calling out earlier. Let's see.
Yep.
Okay, first drop. Nice and easy. No jumps down there. It's a jump.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a double jump at the end. Okay, very well done.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Made that look clean.
Another Demi-Human Queen. Niorra gonna try to go for the clumps. That's the throw. I think his hammers probably deal more damage than that. Yeah.
Annoying a dual RNG here for Rambler. Immediate Moonblade or whatever you would want to call this.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's all good. Rambler, don't forget that you've got Sage's Cave. It's a big duo boss, like super fast boss that he needs to not forget about.
Yeah, that one is extremely efficient. I mean, running to the first one takes a little bit, but then running from the first one to the second one takes you like 15 seconds. So I don't think there's like any boss check anywhere that takes 15 seconds to get to, pretty much. So you definitely don't want to forget that one. And it's like the last one that he has in Altus. He's done everything else. Octopus jumping on his head. Oh.
Ooh, annoying.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Rambler has a lot of held things. He's got Siluria as well, right? Like, Sage's Cave, Hugh's Abandoned Cave, Putrid Avatar and Kaled, Siluria. He's got a lot.
Yeah. And then the Dragon Barrel stuff.
But he doesn't mess that up.
And
that
this
could
is
be bad.
This is the... Okay, hold on. Let me hold that thought as we are going to be watching the Mimic Exalted Flesh being applied for Niorra. He also is applying Cragblade. So is the Mimic. And let's see how this fight goes. As you said earlier, very, very dangerous. If the Mimic gets a full hit, that could be lethal.
Yeah. If the Mimic goes for like a jump L1, right? Like,
yeah.
It does so much damage as the Cragblade comes out. And it's like 40% of his HP.
Okay, one more R1 will do it. Nice. Niorra gets the kill. Promised Consort Rodan in Stillwater Cave. First phase gonna go down. This guy's weak to Holy. Yeah. So, no, actually the second phase is weak to Holy, so...
is it second? I thought it was first phase.
It might be first, actually. Yeah, you might be. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the first one that's weak to Holy. Yeah, so extra damage there as well. And Sage's Cave being remembered by Rambler. Gonna be heading over there now. Big. I mean, this is the thing that I was talking about when I was asking you about like how do you route this out. I think that for Rambler, this is now important. Like prioritize the checks that you know you will be able to get done, that you know will be quick. And then, you know, if there's time left, that's when you go to places like Dragon Barrow where you kind of know there is danger. Because in the end, like, if you die on your last boss, especially if you trade, it's not the biggest end of the world, because if you know that your score got locked at the max number you were going to hit anyway, it doesn't really matter, right? Potentially, if your opponent, of course, hasn't died and you just unlocked their score, which would be the case here, but he cannot know that.
Oh my god. The way Rambler did that was so scary. That part is really, really dangerous. You can just there's times where you just don't get stable ground is what happens there.
Wait.
But yeah, and he also did it in a slow way, but
he also has the shackle. Where did they get it? Because it was a starting gift for sure, but he must have found it somewhere else as well.
I guess so.
Because he didn't have it at the start. That's crazy. Actually insane. Is Niorra having a little bit of trouble with this Black Knife Assassin? Gonna go for a backstab. Probably use this opportunity to heal up. Yeah, not wanting to take any chances. I mean, if you get grabbed with that health, you are a donezo. Niorra gets the kill. Sitting at 73 right now. Rambler gonna be entering the first boss of Sage's Cave. This is his chance to kind of equalize. Let's see how this Dragonkin goes. We saw that this was a little bit of a tricky fight. A much better landing for... I don't know how this is even possible. Like, this landing was so good for Rambler. Meanwhile, for Niorra, the boss was just in the air. One more hit is what Rambler is looking for, and he just gets the fight done. Oh, man.
A bit of RNG, but I mean, also a bit of just like a weapon, right? Like the strength of Rambler's weapons are just better. The Sacred Scorpion Charm, the Sacred Tear.
Yeah.
And the amazing scaling on the... what's it called? On the Black Steel Grey Hammer for Sacred, right? So.
No, absolutely. As the Worm Face replacement Deathbird goes down super quick for Niorra as well. No surprises there with this setup.
Yeah. Niorra, if someone's going to run out of checks, it is going to be Niorra, because he is going to be very afraid of going back to Dragon Barrow, and I don't blame him. I mean, to be quite honest, it is lucky that Rambler didn't die going through Dragon Barrow. At that avatar, he kind of just got like good positioning when the thorns came out. But Niorra didn't get that, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see what Niorra does, because he's going to very likely run out of checks here. I'm trying to remember what he has off the top of my head. I think he might have something like the rot butane. Like I think he has like the magma worm. And then maybe correct. Like the putrid avatar, something like that. But yeah. Yeah,
Stormfoot is there as well. Is to kind of scramble.
I think Niorra did Stormfoot early. I think Rambler has Stormfoot. Or maybe it's vice versa.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think Niorra went there after the death in Dragon Barrow. Actually, you are correct. That was the That was the mental break that he needed. Right.
That was the one-shotting of a Limgrave boss. I'm like, damn, I need a break. But yeah,
Hey,
as you see, Rambler on a potentially scary skip.
Yeah, he's fine,
Played
luckily,
safe.
but
He's good. Yeah.
I'm always a little nervous when like you have a fall where you know you can take fall damage and then you don't take it. Like, did my position get stored or not? Like, I'm happy to see the fall damage because I'm pretty much 99% sure that it's gonna be safe.
Yeah. It's going to be almost exactly equal. I don't remember what exactly is in this catacomb or in this Evertail, but assuming Rambler gets it down in 20 seconds. Oh my god, look at the damage.
Yeah, the damage is huge. He needed to finish this Misbegotten. Okay, Crucible Knight also win trading.
Oh!
Okay, Shield Blast.
Damage.
Oh, using the statue.
Oh my
god, dude.
He almost gets blocked.
Huge play. Statue in the way. Okay, the Crucible Knight goes down rather quickly after that.
Yeah.
And where do you go now, Rambler? Oh, Hughes.
10 seconds behind. Yep, he's going to do these two, but these two are relatively quick, so... Well, this first one is relatively quick, so...
Yeah, now we're
just
getting...
trying to keep an eye out on what happens in case of a death, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, main eye is still on Rambler because he is in the commanding lead. That he doesn't die, he wins, but if he does die... if let's say he dies right now, Niorra actually wins because he hit 75 first. Obviously, they're going to get more bosses in 7 minutes, right? But just trying to keep a mental note of what happens. See when Niorra gets that boss down at 5350. So I mean, it's neck and neck, right? Like it is absolutely neck and neck. That if Rambler dies, probably just because of the time loss, he could lose. But I don't know what. As Niorra is gonna go and hit the putrid stuff or the rot view stuff, but
yeah, it really depends on where the death comes from. Like, if it's, your last boss, you're fighting Gotsuki Noble on the bridge, probably not the biggest deal. And actually, Rambler's skipping Clean Rot. Abundant Cave completely.
The Clean Rot duo. Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. It's on the higher end of the timing of a check, right? It's like, I think upwards of like one... Oh, Niorra gets blasted and rotted by the Clean Rot Knight. Yeah.
Both players converging. This is sick.
Exactly. Let's see.
Rambler! No! Rambler is dead!
No!
Parkour again, dude! Okay, he goes back to the stake of Marika, and now because of this time loss, I mean, he has about 30 seconds to kill this boss. If he kills this boss within 30 seconds, he will be in the lead. Okay, this is insane. That's not the first time that I've seen someone die there. I'm pretty sure I've seen Gustav die in exactly the same spot. Okay, he needs this kill super fast.
Yeah.
He does get it.
This should be Rambler in the lead, I think.
Yeah, Rambler's in the lead by about 5 seconds at the moment.
And he's doing this? Okay, this is a decision. I would say this is a misplay. He's going here while skipping Abandoned Cave. Abandoned Cave is just faster.
Yep.
He could be worried about dying in Abandoned Cave, but realistically it's not. I mean, this is neck and neck. It's a little bit annoying that we have they have almost a 30-second difference in like IGT. But they are like 3 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Cheeks are clenched.
Yeah, it's a crazy development. I mean, not the first time that we have seen a death in the last 5 minutes of the match. I mean, the pressure is on because you know that you have almost played it perfectly. You have almost played it up to what you want to do. As both players are trying to attack the 80 score line. The reason that we are talking about Rambler being a little bit ahead, even though he's like behind in this catacomb, it's because of the discrepancy between the in-game time, right? What you have to look at is the time left right now. So because there's a difference between the two players, we got to keep an eye out. 56:26 was the kill time there for Niorra. Rambler how fast can you kill a tree sentinel? Not fast enough if an ant actually blocks you.
56-26. This is so close. Because I think that they're on the exact same path of checks as well. Like, I don't think that Rambler's going to do anything that Niorra isn't. Let's see, are you going to two-shot at Rambler? Oh my god.
Okay, he gets the kill at 1 second ahead.
1 second ahead.
Oh my god.
This is the closest. This might be the closest game we've had in DRL. Holy shit.
This is actually insane, yeah, because like that's the thing. They're gonna kill this boss. They're gonna have time for at least one more, and then the big question is, where does each player go? Where do you go after this one, right? If Rambler or Niorra have a faster check ready after this one, that could be the pivotal moments. Now, if neither of them can actually finish your boss, then the time of this kill will determine the winner.
Yeah, I actually lied. Rambler is going to do something different. I think he's going to finish this, and then he's going to go to Dragon Barrow Cave, and I think he's going to try and set that up. Rambler also has Siluria. He's got like one of those. He's got
Moke's Shackle not working. Shackle from AliExpress.
It is the Omen, so it's faster. Rambler is just slower getting to this boss. Let's see when he gets the enemy felled.
Yeah, he's taking it way too safe. He's trying to kill some death birds. I mean, grave birds right on the way. Like you can't. I don't think you can really do that when you've died already, especially this late. And Niorra gonna head over to the start of the DLC for his potentially 80th kill. This will come down to RNG, because if Niorra gets a really easy boss here, he will definitely be able to kill it.
Yep. 55-54. Rambler is just slower.
Oh, that interrupts. Does get the kill here. He's a little bit behind.
Gets it down. Now he's just slower, but the
5 seconds.
He has Dragon Barrow Cave. He has to go to Dragon Barrow Cave like right now.
I mean, he has Siluria as well, actually.
Just one of those two. Yeah, one of those two. I think is what he has to do. Unless there's a Rick here for Niorra. I mean,
where are you going?
Rambler, you're going to Jail Cave?
No! What is this routing, bro?
No.
Okay, this is a disaster. I mean, that's exactly what we are talking about, dude. There's so many things that you kind of left that you have no idea what you even have left. I mean, dude, and there's Crystallians!
And it's a double Crystallian!
Niorra!
No!
The paid-off DLC, dude, the French DLC!
Oh my god, as Niorra gets him down in about 30, like, fucking 15 seconds, hits 80 with 40 seconds
40
remaining.
seconds left, yeah. This is okay. This is so over. Like,
that's GG.
Dude, just go to Godskin Noble. He's right there on the bridge if you want a fast boss, right? Like, you have so many options. Rambler's big head actually not big enough to be able to figure this out.
And you know, the worst part is that honestly what happened is it's the death.
Yeah.
I think the death just throws off his mental so much there at the end. That he doesn't, like, he's not thinking clearly. Like, I have this lined up. I have that. I have like X, I have Y, I have Z. And I think like his, if he doesn't die, he knows, right? But I mean, this is game, right?
Yep.
Niorra killed
nothing that can happen.
First. There's nothing that can happen. Nothing that can be changed here. I mean, oh my god.
I mean, that's what we talked about in the end. Like, when you die, like, you obviously will feel bad, but the match isn't over until the timer actually runs out for you. So you gotta keep on pushing, and if Niorra wasn't pushing, he wouldn't have won, right? Like, if he just let go of the throttle a little bit, he wouldn't have been able to win after this Rumble's death. Like, if you make a mistake, you need your opponent to make a mistake, obviously. But you just can't give up. You gotta keep fighting. And for Niorra, I mean, the tournament run continues now in the lower brackets.
Yeah.
Another scalp. NPT into Pearl, into Rambler. 3 back-to-back victories in the lower bracket for Niorra as he takes it home today. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Dude, I feel really like sad for Rambler because I think he played really, really well up until the final moments. Like, the last few minutes, the gravity death, and hey, we've seen it earlier. We've seen it in his previous match, gravity death there. We've seen it earlier in this match, some shaky parkour here and there, and in the end, it actually comes down to that. That's crazy. And then just, yeah, like you said, I think the death kind of throwing all of his mental, and maybe some slight routing, deficiencies. The fact that he didn't do Abandoned Cave, but did do the Catacomb in Upper Kalids, like it's a shame. But man, what an exciting match this was, no?
Yeah, I mean, what a way for it to end. Like, I mean, as a hardcore Rambler fan, I mean, I'm a little bit upset. Obviously, I'm very upset. Obviously, he's gonna be kicking himself, right? This is not the way that you want to lose. But the truth is that, like, I mean, as a spectator, this must have been an amazing match, right? As if you're unbiased, this is a banger, right? So,
this was pretty sick, and especially like we were talking about how Rambler is the underdog, and I think that it's quite clear. Like, I think you can tell that Niorra's gameplay is cleaner overall. He has better lines. Some of his fights were also a little bit better, but it's not like Niorra was infallible today. Like, he absolutely made mistakes, and the build difference was huge. Like, it really showed all throughout the match. I was still waiting, like, is Niorra gonna reach a certain strength threshold to kind of outpace the damage of Ramblers, and he never did. So, like, Rambler clearly showing that he had every right to be in the tournament and to make it to losers round 4, because he just, I mean, he had it there. He had the routing, he had the build, and unfortunately, sometimes you can have it all and you still lose. That's how it is. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, extremely well played to both players, though. Like in all honesty, like this is a really good match. The drought at the beginning definitely slowed down pace, but it was extremely well played, and a really good recovery from all players and just how well they played. It's not me versus Niorra yet. I've still got a match to play. There's a promo on your stream, sorry, but it's a promo for DRL. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sorry, Sunday, I'm playing against Teddy. But yeah, there's quite a few matches coming up this weekend. 2 happening tomorrow, pretty much back to back. A really good game tomorrow. Forsa versus Keijuro. Winners semis. Number 1 in 17 hours. Rakushain Hooser is also a really good game in the losers. 2 phenomenal players in the losers bracket.
Seeds number 1 and Seeds number 6, so that's going to be very close.
Helios Sirius, top 3 of Randocalypse versus winner of Randocalypse, another really good game in the losers. And then there's also one game where I'm playing, but that one doesn't. It's all right. Go watch the other ones. The other ones should be really, really good games.
No, everyone should watch all of them, to be honest. Yours included. Yours included. Yeah, if you take a quick peek at the bracket, I mean, the winner of this match is moving on to be facing potentially you or Teddy. I'm not gonna ask you about Niorra. You've seen his play. You know what to look for. You obviously have Teddy to take care of first, a different Frenchman that you'll have to get through. So we'll obviously be cheering for you on Sunday as well. I'm gonna ask Rambler if he wants to join for a quick interview, if that's okay with you as well.
Yeah, totally.
And let's try to pick his thoughts as well about the build and what happened there with the late game routing. I think especially is the most important question.
Yeah.
As Niorra's being interviewed by the French broadcast, that makes sense. Yo, Rambler. Hello. Catalyst to Rambler. Yeah, we hear you now.
Now I can hear you, yeah.
Hello, can we hear you?
Okay, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the
Dude.
Discord just switched my stuff.
Oh, that sometimes happens, yeah, when like you start OBS sometimes after Discord and it just switches your audio. But hey, welcome in, man. What a bummer, unfortunately. You played
I'm devastated.
yeah, like you played extremely well this entire match. And unfortunately, in the last 5 minutes, the slippery slope, the slippery branch again playing a difference maker here. You were really, really close to winning despite that anyways. Yeah, what are your first just, reactions and thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think I got an awful start time-wise. Like I was fumbling like my options. Like I saw the Holy and the Faith. I said, okay, Black Steel Great Hammer. Like I need to go Faith this one. But I felt like that was like I don't know. I just put like the Ashes of War heavy, then I went back to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was very slow the early game. Like I made a lot of mistakes in like optimizations, right? Like the small optimizations that we can do. I was just fumbling that a lot. But after I found the the Grave Bird, I was like, okay, I'm just like gonna jump this over and like let's see what number I can get. Because like if I have a better beginning, I feel like this seed was like an easy 82, 83. And that's only because of the Graces. If we had like Mountaintops or Mount Gelmir, that could be even better. But because I was slow in the start, I was like, he's probably gonna have a faster pace than me. So just bring this home if he dies. And then when I saw Scadutria, I think I said to chat like, I feel like this is the only place I've seen so far that like someone might die, and apparently that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
I'm very proud of how I dealt there. Like I think I was not only fast but safe, so I'm fine with that. It just sucks that like two things happened, like the death and the slippery branch, and the fact that I kind of forgot about Siluria, because if I remember about Siluria, I probably do it first, and maybe I beat him on the score. I don't know. Like it's hard because it's hard to know, right? Like I did Jail Cave. Jail Cave is kind of okay time wise, but I missed the skip, so didn't get to 80. But there was no time for me to get 81 after the death. Only if I don't do the catacomb and find like another boss. So I don't know. Like what I know is that branch, man, that like I fucked up. It was my fault. It wasn't like the game being weird or everything, but not getting the port. Like I react too slow there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple of things. So Siluria, as you said, you potentially had Godskin Noble in Dragon Barrow as well. If you wanted to try and tackle that, that's a really quick boss to get to. Obviously, gonna take a little bit longer to kill. But I guess if you're gonna stick to the late game routing first, you skipped the Abandoned Cave after Hughes. But you decided to do the Catacomb after the Putrid Avatar. Like, what's the decision making there? Because the second one is actually slower than the first.
Yeah, the Catacomb is safer.
Okay,
that's fair.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Because the way I do Abandoned Cave, like I'm always terrified of like being in the situation that Pro was in the game against Niorra, right? Like where you get rotten and you need to keep going because you didn't get the grace. So I always get the grace, and if I get rotten, I immediately mog. So the way I do Abandoned Cave is slower, and the Catacomb is kind of interchangeable, and because of that, it's also safer for me. But at that point, I wasn't really thinking, right? Like because it was right before my death, so maybe I don't do the Catacomb if I die. If I don't die, because then maybe I feel like the boss was so fast that I can get the speed back on something. Maybe I remember Siluria in that case. Because my plan was to, like, it would depend on the boss, but my plan was maybe do the Catacomb if I felt like the boss was too slow, then I do it. But if the boss was fast like it was, I maybe do the go back to Rotview, do Magma Worm, do Jail Cave. I mean, if I don't die, it's a moot point, right? But like because my death, I think, kind of like sealed my fate in terms of the score. I would only get to 80. I don't think I
mean,
could get 81.
it was
I
still
think-
close. Like both you and Niorra were actually doing the Putrid Avatar and Catacomb at the same time, and you were about 2 seconds ahead after killing the Tree Sentinel. Like, it was actually really close, but then you were like slower making it over to the Magma Worm replacement, right? You were killing some of the Gravebirds on the way and stuff like that. So after that, you were about like 8 to 9 seconds behind. So it was like extremely close for a moment there.
Yeah, and then at the end, Niorra did DLC start Solitary, and it was a double Crystallion with a double Grey Hammer Heavy 8 build. So, I mean, yeah. Like,
what was Siluria? Sorry?
Siluria was Renala Phase 1. So it was a
Sorry,
2-cycle Renala. Yeah,
Would
I
be
think
slow,
yeah, at the end there, I think the way that I would have preferred you playing it is instead of doing that Catacomb, you had Dragon Barrow Cave set up. At the end of the day, it's like it's your last boss, right?
I
Just go
intended
send that.
I intended going
Yeah.
there, but after I died, I was like, okay, my only chance is if he dies twice at this point. So I'm not gonna take big chances. I'm just going to go for like the lowest scale possible. But I forgot about Siluria. I would have gone
That's
for
fair,
that.
yeah. Why
Yeah,
not
that
go
makes
to
sense.
the
Yeah, I
Godskin
mean-
Noble in Dragon Barrow?
That was a possibility. If like I said, like if my Putrid Avatar is fast enough, I go immediately to Rotview and finish that. Magma, and then I see the time. If the time is like 5 minutes, then I think I can do Noble, Siluria, and Dragon Barrel Cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't know the bosses, right? So it was more about like trying to plan that. But my plans went out the window. Like I forgot everything after the death.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. I think you play that end very, very differently if you don't die. The death is such like a mental like what the fuck
shock
that I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Man, I'm more shocked now that I saw that like my pace was equal. I'm shocked at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
I was gonna say, like, you know, you joined here and we're talking about like what you could have done better. You played the beginning really, really well. You guys both did the exact same start. You both went Limgrave. You were both in an absolute drought, fighting all of Limgrave at like sub plus 24. Niorra was plus 12 at the beginning. I don't know if it was because you started with a rune and he didn't or something, but he was plus 12 and you were like plus 15, plus 18.
Plus
or something
18.
We didn't have any seal. Maybe he sold the wrong thing.
He had a what's it called? He had the staff.
Staff,
Yeah.
The staff is worse than the shield. The shield is 3. The shield, the Ice Crest shield is 3 weight. The staff is 3.5 or 4.5 depending on the staff. And I kind of like learned that like in my practice that like doing the staff is worse. So most of the time.
Yeah, so like you had just much better damage in the beginning, and then once you got that sacred build online, you were shredding. Your damage was so much better. Even on bosses like Malekith, at Death Touch Catacombs, you were just completely equal on it. Like that, your damage on every other boss was so much better that like I think that was like really well done. Having Blacksteel, getting the sacred build online, and pumping faith. I mean, Niorra went strength, went heavy for a while. He was leveling Vig and endurance, so you were just kind of out damaging him. You were out scaling him at the beginning. So like, yeah, I mean, that was really, really smart. Like you were, in my opinion, you were ahead for kind of like a majority of this game. Once you got to Altus, it pretty much equalized. Like this was like arguably like if Niorra doesn't die, this is like one of the closest games that we have in DRL. And then you know, with the death,
I guess it was right by the
it was in the end. Yeah, that we were basically saying
I'm just
like
talking
how
like pace, right?
We are saying how smart. No, I was just gonna say that we are saying how smart like your build making there was, and then Niorra went for the Limgrave chain all the way to Weeping, and he was still at plus 12. And at that point, even though you know you fumbled your menuing, you had plus 25. So like you were saving a lot of time over him in the early game as well. And then he finally upgraded before Moog at the start, and that was so not only were your upgrades better early, But generally, like, your damage was way better as well because of the build you put together. And I was waiting if, like, maybe Niorra hits a level of strength where he will catch up, but, like, no, all the way up until the end, your build was just better. And then to further the advantage, you also found the jump attack armor sooner, like quite a bit sooner than Niorra.
A lot earlier.
Yeah, you were outpacing him for sure throughout most of the match. And as Plural pointed out, I think that it was a little bit more equal in Altus. But I felt like you had better map progression because he had done Siluria before he went to Altus, and the score was even, right? But we unfortunately never got to see you go to Renala there.
Yeah.
What was your thought process at the start in terms of the keepsake? Because you started with the Golden Rune, and Niorra started with the Moog Shackle, which you ended up having as well. What was your rationale?
My rationale is Moog Shackle, like, what you're gonna do, like, you're gonna do that in Stormfoot Catacombs. You're gonna do that in Tom's Ward Catacombs. That might save you 4 seconds total, right? Like 2-3 seconds max on each catacomb. You're gonna save that on Sage's Cave. That's like probably 5-6 seconds just because you need to like jump on 4 things, right? Or throw. That's pretty much it. You're saving 20 seconds at the most. The rune, I think it was like a golden rune 9. It's 3,800, if I'm not mistaken. That if I only sell things enough for like 14,000, that means I'm gonna be at like plus 15. If I sell things plus that, I'm gonna be at plus 18. And because I already had my build pretty much given by the starting class, I was more like erring on the side of like having the highest upgrade possible as fast as possible. What was kind of like a curveball in that scenario was like there was no remembrances in the early wave. And also I didn't want to go Liurnia just yet because I didn't know if I was going to have the pace of like doing the full right side or if I were maybe skipping Church of Owls. That was pretty much like my decision making there. And because of that, I think like the Golden Rune is always the way to go. Like in some practice seeds, I've been even skipping Golden Seeds over it just to have a better pace in the beginning and getting to the upgrade, highest upgrade possible faster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it showed in the early game here, like you were in the lead because of it. Like plus 18 versus plus 12 is a really big difference maker. Yeah, unfortunately though, like I just feel like, you know, you were the underdog, I think, in this match, right? In the end, Niorra is seed number 3. Like he's shown incredible prowess at this format. And yet I believe that you basically outpaced him. I think that you showed the superior knowledge in this regard with the build making, and I think that you should absolutely be proud of how you played today, despite the fact that, you know, you are unfortunately on the losing side of things, because this is the end of your journey in DRL. I obviously want to give you the floor to do a little reflection or give us some closing thoughts.
Okay, thank you. It is heartbreaking, but it's I got used to it. Like I usually lose in that kind of fashion in bingo and other things, but that's fine. First of all, I want to thank you. Like you cast 2 of my matches. Very proud of that for myself. I'm very happy. Like I've been watching your speedruns for a very long time, so it's a pleasure and an honor.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, man, and my pleasure.
Same with Forsa, like for organizing the league. Like Forsa is another one that I watched for a long time as well. The speedruns and stuff. Having to play against him was an honor as well. Sadly, didn't go my way, but I think I did well there, and I'm happy that I played well this game. Like it was sad that I lost the way I did, but I'm happy that I kept pace. So actually, I did better, like you guys are saying. So it kind of goes to show that to some degree, like you cannot take it for granted, right? Like the seeds and everything. Like sometimes there was going to be like one wrinkle in randomizers, so it's good to keep your head up and make sure that you're not like too phased by whatever you feel like the opponent might do. And finally, well, thanks everybody who watched. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like all three of my matches were kind of entertaining, despite the fact that they were not necessarily close until the end in this case. And that's all I want. I want people to be having fun, and I have fun for 1 hour and 55 minutes. So I guess it's good. And I guess both of you and the rest of the audience had fun for even longer. So I am happy about that, and I hope all the best to the people remaining in the competition.
Fantastic. That was super well said. I mean, we were really, really lucky to witness your matches. As you said, 2 on my channel here. I was super happy to cast both of them. And then we were kind of, we were cheering for the underdog story, I think, most of us. So sad to see you go. But Thomas, if you have anything to add as well, if you have any questions left or anything.
No, that's going to be it. Yeah, I mean, just, off the back of what Kata said, right? Like, you played today, like, phenomenally. Like, right, don't, you might be trying to be critical about, like, what you did, like, early on, like, about this, about that, about, like, there were, like, maybe 3 notable mistakes that I can tell you happened in the early game, but, like, they were really, really minor in all honesty, and you should be really proud of how you played. Like, you played phenomenal today. The ending, the death there is such a mental, like, shock that obviously your decision making after that is going to be kind of messed up, so don't feel bad about that, right? Like, you played
fine.
great. Like,
I'm just sad that like it was a mistake that was very avoidable, and I didn't avoid. It's just that like I'm happy with the way I played, other than that mistake.
Yeah,
that's totally fair. Well, Rambler, we're gonna let you go. Thanks for joining us for the post-match interview, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, man.
You too. Thank you for having me.
All right, Plural, thank you so much for joining us today as well on the cast. It was an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I think you brought some really valuable insight, and I was super happy rather to have you on the cast. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime. And I mean, best of luck in in your Sunday's match against Teddy. I think it would be fantastic to see you against Niorra as well in the next round. So we'll be cheering for you. And thank you as always, man. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun to be on here, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, fantastic.
As I'm sure a lot of us do. I mean, right, as Rambler said, we all look up to you, right? So it's really an honor to be here. So I appreciate it.
No, you guys are gonna make me blush, man. Don't do that. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll be sure to catch your match on Sunday. Take it easy until then, yeah.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right, guys, that was insane. No, that was so fucking cool. What a great match. I'm a little sad for Rambler for sure. I mean, he obviously has to be devastated. He said it as well himself. But it just goes to show, dude, that like even super fast players like Niorra can be outpaced. They can be outpaced if you have a better build. If you kind of have slightly better routing, like you can beat them even if you're the slower player. And we were saying at the start of the match, I was like, hey, Rambler is the underdog. What do you do if you think you're slower? Well, Rambler fucking wasn't. Rambler was actually faster today, which is crazy. And as he said, unfortunate death at the end, but it made it super, super exciting. And it's just, I know myself, like, it's so hard to come back from a moment like that. But if he kind of kept on pushing, like, he probably still could have won the match. It's just the fact that Niorra went to the start of the DLC and his double Crystallians, right? Like, it's very lucky for him in that regard. Like, he would have won regardless, probably, because he had enough time, but if it was something a little bit more difficult or longer, there's a chance, always a chance that with the proper routing, Rambler gets the 80 at first. But alas, it is what it is. Guys, congratulations to the winner. Honors to the loser as well, because he put up a hell of a fight today. As Plural was plugging earlier, I just want to repeat, there will be plenty of matches over the weekend. I'm not casting any of them as of now, but I could be casting something on Sunday. I would love to. we'll see how that goes. Not casting tomorrow. Tomorrow is Forsa against Kaijuro and Rakushine against Hooser, as was mentioned earlier. Those are going to be really, really big fucking matches. And yeah, we'll see if anyone is up for these. I have signed up for them, right? Like the way it works is that basically you can show that you're available for a match or that you're interested in casting it. And then obviously if there are other casters that have just under-commentated, like there are some casters who have not casted that many matches, they will get priority. So we'll see how it plays out. I would love to cast one of Sirius's matches while he's still in the tournament. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate you all joining me. I hope you had a fantastic time. I hope you had a really, really fun time with us as well. And that we brought a lot of, you know, cool shit to the cast. A lot of knowledge. It was really cool to have Plural on. I think we gelled really, really well. And I'll send you guys over to Niorra, the winner of today's match. Go give him a follow, if you speak French especially, I guess. I'll be back again on, well, either Sunday casting something, or I will be back on Monday. If there's no cast, I will obviously let you guys know. Monday, our run is still alive. Dark Souls Permadeath, use what you get, is still alive. Run number 83. We are like 12 and a half hours in, and we'll see for how long we are alive, because I'm looting Tomb of the Giants first, so I have a light source, so hopefully it will be okay, some firebombs. What I need to do over the weekend is at least derust where some of the item pickups are, because I don't remember at all, so I need to make sure that I know where things are. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, hope you enjoy yourselves, hope you stay safe, stay cool, as always, you know, support DRL, support the players, the commentators, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay cool. Bye-bye.